6, 5. Well, hello again, everyone. We welcome you to Art Wright Stadium here in Wadsworth. It is our WKYC Game of the Week. And tonight we are in Wadsworth. We're going to have the national anthem, and we'll get you here to Hudson Wadsworth here in just a second. Wadsworth Marching Band performing the national anthem here at Art Wright Stadium as we welcome you into the press box, but we get you the look at the field view as well here in the pregame. Yeah, move this out of the way here so you don't have to see cords. But this is going to be a lot of fun tonight. This is going to feel like a fall night here. It's temperatures. We're around in 60 degrees right now, but it's going to fall probably into the 50s. It feels like a fall football game, and we got two terrific offenses ready to square off in tonight's game. Hudson at 3-0 on the season, Wadsworth at 1-1. Let's get you the tail of the tape on the Explorers. Offensively, they are coming into tonight's game averaging 45 points per contest. The total offense per game is a little under 500 yards at 477, and they've done most of their damage on the ground, about 303 yards rushing per game. It starts with another one of these great dual-threat quarterbacks that we see around the area, Jacob Paltani. He's a senior. He is thrown for 510 yards, but he has rushed for 388, so almost already at almost 1,000 yards, 900 yards of total offense in 3 games. 5 touchdown passes, 2 touchdown runs, and he averages about 8 yards per carry when he runs the football. And he's got 2 guys that are terrific backs behind him, Drew Leitner and Aiden Lau. Leitner averaging about 5 yards a carry, 275 yards in the first 3 games, and 7 touchdowns. And Lau, about 6 yards per carry. He has scored a couple of times as well. But, Jeff Goff, in his 5th year, he has just kind of gotten this program picking up right where Ron Wright left off. And he was once the defensive coordinator for Coach Wright. And the Explorers are off and running here in 2020. And they've put up some big numbers thus far this year, but they're going to need to put up more big numbers tonight against Wadsworth offense. Now, the Grizzlies are coming off of a 63-54 setback last week here against Nordonia in a shootout that I think took about 3 hours or so to play. The problem with the Grizzlies right now has been on the injuries, and talking this week to Justin Todd, the head coach of the Grizzlies, at one point this week, they were looking at 8 different players on their team dealing with some form of injury or illness, including their 4 captains. Now, they're hopeful to get a lot of them back tonight. The key is going to be watching offensively and seeing if quarterback Mitch Evans can play. He was out there at warm-ups, heavy brace on the left knee, but he was out there taking reps, and he's the kind of the engine that makes this Grizzlies offense go. Evans is actually headed to Notre Dame on the college side as a tight end. He's 6'7", 250 pounds, but here for the Grizzlies, he's their starting quarterback, and he's done it all in the first 2 games of the year. 636 yards passing, but he is also in 8 touchdowns, but he's also rushed for 152 yards. and no shortage of weapons around him. Barrett Labus, Brennan Gray, Carter Link, Tyler Montgomery, and it's been that kind of thing for the Grizzlies. They're going to look to kind of sustain that here tonight, and they're going to need it because, as I said, 45 points per game for the Explorers. Wadsworth in their first two games, 51.5 points per contest, 533 yards of total offense. So I guess my best recommendation, everybody, is pull up the chair, relax, make yourself, order dinner, and count on a nice long evening. We may have a lot of scoring here in this game tonight, and could make for a long but fun night here between these two Suburban League powers in Division II. Tyler Carey is going to join us in a couple of moments because there are some critical games going on in the area around Northeast Ohio. I mean, it's it's like you sit there and you go, this would normally be, all things being equal, would be the first week of conference play for a lot of schools. You would have get a few good non-conference games, but now it would be the kind of, this is when the nitty-gritty starts. Well, I mean, we've already had St. Ed's playing Menor and St. Edward playing Hoban and Hoban playing Benedictine. I mean, we've had crazy games already here in 2020. And, tonight's schedule, you looked at it. Actually, you had games last night. Solon played their first game in 2020, ended up losing to St. Vincent St. Mary. Amongst those who played last night, Mayfield got a win last night. So this is actually a busy weekend in high school football that started last night, TC.
Good evening, Dino. It's good to be here as always. It certainly is a very interesting weekend. A lot of games going on last night. Kenston actually lost again. Their record is now 1-2. A far fall for the 2018 state champions. But we've got a lot of games going on tonight and tomorrow. Some of the games tonight in Suburban League play. Highland is going to be taking on Nordonia, Stowe, North Royalton, Brecksville, Broadview Heights, and Barberton. And some of the bigger ones, we mentioned the Chardon Riverside game.
Yes.
We saw Riverside last week, two undefeated teams meeting up in Lake County. Menor is going to be playing Brunswick, Benedictine taking on Massillon, a big game between two Division II schools. Another team I also want to look at is Streetsboro. They got a couple of transfers coming in from some of the Akron area schools. And Michael Hall is their defensive tackle, may be the best defensive tackle in the country. He's headed to Ohio State next year. And they've taking on this Friday night. The Colts are, kind of beating up their competition. So those are just some of the games that I'll be trying to get you the updates on as we go throughout the evening.
I look forward to it, Tyler Carey. We are set to kick it off here. TC, we'll catch you during the quarter breaks and also at halftime and a postgame.
Awesome. Can't wait, Dino. Have a good call.
All right. Thank you very much, Tyler Carey, as we are getting ready to roll here at Artwright Stadium in Wadsworth, and it will be the Grizzlies to kick it off. We're on the visitor side, and you still get that kind of that late afternoon, early evening sun in your face here. So if you see me do this, it's because, I didn't bring my sunglasses. Silly me. Aiden Mendel will kick it off for the Grizzlies. And you've got Drew Leitner amongst those back deep to receive for the Hudson Explorers. 1-1 Wadsworth. 3-0 Hudson. Suburban League action. Where else would you want to be here tonight? But joining us here. We're happy to have you with us. Our WKYC.com game of the week, and Mendel's kick is going to be fielded. It's a short kick, and Leitner's got it at the 15-yard line, runs left. He's got a hold to the 25, ahead to the 30, and put down at about the 35-yard line, and that's where Hudson will begin. Jeff Goff will have his quarterback, Jacob Paltani, with running back Drew Leitner, Aiden Lau, both the receiver and a running back. They list him as a starting wide receiver, but he'll also be in the backfield. Colin Pierce, Cade Tanazzi, and Luke McLaughlin are the starting wideouts. Hudson will start out with a trips right, one receiver left on 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line as we're just getting rolling here. And there's a momentary stoppage. Before we could even go here, we have a false start against the Explorers. So back them up 5 and bring up 1st and 15. Colin Konecki, Chris Slater, Alex Mopshin, Orion Bay, and Kevin Toth on the offensive line, tackle to tackle. 1st and 15 now for Paltani and the Explorers. Paltani in that short shotgun. He's back to throw. Has time. Looks deep over the middle, and it's going to be an interference coming up against the Wadsworth Grizzlies, as that was intended for Cade Tanazzi. And Tanazzi was being held, grabbed, etc., to prevent him from breaking away. And the shame of it is for Wadsworth, I got to tell you, that pass was overthrown by Paltani. So that penalty will move it up to the 45-yard line, 15 yards. And it should be a first down, and it is. As they hadn't moved the chains yet, now they will. 1st and 10, Explorers after the penalty. Now at their own 45-yard line, ball at the left hash. Again, trips right for the Explorers, one man left. They'll go to Leitner on the ground. He'll take it out to the 48, maybe the 49-yard line. About a pickup of 4 on the play. Linebacker Jonah Hall makes the tackle for the Grizzlies. Logan Sharla, Logan Semi, and Cohen Grimm are up front. Nick Metzger, as they'll quote quickly now, the quarterback will keep it. Paltani into Wadsworth territory, and he'll get run out of bounds at about the 46-yard line. That's going to be very close to another Explorer first down. They ran that play very quickly. They're going to mark it a little short, so it's third about a yard or so. Paltani gets that shotgun snap, gives to Leitner, goes up the gut, and second effort to the 45 is going to bring him close, but I don't think he got it. Make it 4th down. It's going to be 4th and about a half yard. Quickly, Jacob Paltani gets them to the line. 4th and short. Back to Leitner, first down as he'll cross the 45 and go down to the Wadsworth 42-yard line. Nothing fancy there for the Explorers. We told you they love to run the football. And Drew Leitner gets them the first down. Back to throw now, Jacob Paltani. Looks deep over the middle. He's got a man open. Pass dropped at the 5-yard line. Now, Ethan Russell was back on coverage, and give him a little bit of credit because I think he affected that would-be catch. I think that was Luke McLaughlin who was trying to make the touchdown catch. That would have been a touchdown, just could not hang on to the football. But again, I think Russell might have just kind of gotten his field of vision a little bit. 2nd and 10. I'll tell you one thing, Jacob Paltani throws a nice deep pass. Very, very nice. 2nd and 10. Paltani will have Leitner stand to his left. I promise we'll check the Wadsworth starting defense here in a moment. Paltani, quick drop this time. He'll throw left side pass. Caught at the 35-yard line, and Aiden Lau will get pushed out of bounds by Robbie Kellner at that spot. But a gain of 6 on that pickup. We'll bring up, actually, it's a better game than I even thought. They're going to move it up to about the 32. 3rd and short. Paltani will keep it. Runs left. Hemmed in. Second effort. He'll plow ahead to the 31-yard line. Needed 1. He got 2. And that will be another Hudson first down. Good effort that time by Jacob Paltani. 2 receivers to each side. Paltani looks to throw. Fires right side. McLaughlin's got it at the 20, 15, outside to the 10, cuts up to the 5, and he'll be brought down at about the 3-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Explorers. The senior wide receiver, Luke McLaughlin, makes that catch and sets Hudson up now. 1st and goal. Quickly to the line at the 3. High snap, pulled down. The give is to Leitner, up the gut, and he's in. Touchdown, Hudson Explorers. 65-yard touchdown drive capped off by a 3-yard TD run by senior running back Drew Leitner. That is his 8th touchdown in 4 games, and not even 4 full games, 3 games, and where are we at now? 10-10 to go in the first quarter. that drive really kind of jump-started by that pass interference penalty, and then a couple of runs and the pass to McLaughlin set up the Leitner touchdown. Here's the extra point. Jake Vidmar is up, and he's good. Vidmar now at 17 of 17 on his point afters this year, 3 of 3 from field goals. And the Explorers go a 65 yards in 1 minute and 50 seconds to take a 7-0 lead. As we said, I mean, there's going to be a lot of scoring here tonight. You know, we talked in the open about the offenses. You know, Wadsworth's defense came in allowing 42 points per game and about 493 yards of total offense. Now we'll get our look at Hudson's defense in a second. They're allowing 26 points per game, 404 yards of total offense. So in 3 games, I mean, the Explorers haven't set the world on fire from a defensive standpoint. I think Jeff Goff, who's, again, you know, a guy that is a defensive, you know, made his bones anyway as a defensive coach, will be looking to see, I think, more takeaways. The turnover margin is only +1 for the Explorers. They want more. So punter Caleb Junko will handle the kickoff duties here for the Explorers. And Wadsworth, I think they've got Levis back there. And I think Carter Link is back there as well. 7-0 Explorers here in the first quarter. The kickoff is going to sail over everybody's head and go into the end zone for a touchback. Well, they had Brennan Gray actually back there on one of the as one of the runbacks. So it'd be 1st and 10 at the 20 here for the Wadsworth Grizzlies. And big question is, who will be coming out at quarterback? Now, Evans, whether he starts or not, they're going to use Barrett Labus probably as a wildcat quarterback. And Evans is out there. He's actually starting this first play as a wide receiver left. So 2 receivers to each side. And as I'll tell you what, Justin Todd didn't lie to me. Labus and the wildcat is ready. 2 receivers to each side. Man goes in motion. That's Carter Link. High snap, pulled down. Labus has it. Trying to get a little head of steam, but he is brought down right about at the line of scrimmage. Chase Weber, from his defensive end spot, stayed home, had containment, and brought down Barrett Labus for no gain. 2nd and 10. But on those types of plays, what you're doing is just reducing the wear and tear as much as possible on Mitch Evans. You know, you want him certainly to be able to run this offense, but you want to be smart about it. This time Evans will go to the shotgun. Receivers on each side, two apiece. 2nd and 10, here's Evans. Looks left, throws left, pass caught. Labus at the 25, and they'll knock him out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. It's a pickup of 8. It's Labus's 15th catch of the season, and it will set up a 3rd and manageable here for the Grizzlies, 3rd and 2. Tyler Montgomery, Carter Link, Ethan Korecki, and Barrett Labus are all the wide receivers for the Grizzlies. Brennan Gray at running back. And Mitch Evans, the senior, 6'7", 250 pounds. He will be a member of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish starting next year as a tight end. 6'7". Oh, Brian Kelly's going to love him. This time the Grizzlies will go with 3 receivers right, 1 to the left, 3rd and 2. As they'll shift Gray in motion, rolling right, Evans. Time, looks, throws, incomplete. Was trying to find Carter Link at the 50-yard line. Link was well covered by 3 of the Explorers. John Inamorato was back there. Adam Oscarson was back there as well, along with Jackson Thomas. So it's 4th and 2. And Justin Todd will send in the punt team. So a 3 and out for the Grizzlies on their first possession. Joey Rozak, Max Kubler, Joey Valeri, Evan Meisen, and Thomas Feister are the starting offensive linemen for the Wadsworth Grizzlies. Evans is also the punter for Wadsworth, averaging just under 46 yards per kick with a long of 50. He can punt. I mean, He can do everything. Waits for it at his own 14-yard line. Paltani in single safety. The quarterback going to return punts. He'll watch this kick sail back, and he'll call for a fair catch and make it at the 33-yard line. You don't see quarterbacks be the kick and punt returners very often, but then again, you don't have somebody with the athleticism and explosiveness of Jacob Paltani very often. So 1st and 10 here for the Explorers as we've got 9:04 to play in the first quarter, 7-0 Explorers on the Leitner touchdown run. Wadsworth's defense, Logan Sharia, Logan Seme, and Cohen Grimm are up front. Nick Metzger, Jazz Jackson, and Jonah Hall are the linebackers. And then Ethan Russell, Robbie Kellner, Ben Carroll, Brandon Wright, and Karsten Marshall are the 5 defensive backs. Paltani ready to go, 1st and 10. Looking over the middle, he's got a man open and overshot his intended receiver, Kay Tanazzi, at the 35 of the Grizzlies. Ethan Russell, the senior corner, was back on coverage. Similar to what they tried on that first possession with the Wadsworth pass interference penalty. And Paltani really throws a beautiful deep ball. They'll go to Leitner on 2nd down, runs left, runs into his own man, keeps his feet chopping, and he'll get the 1st down across the 40 and out to near the 44-yard line. So Leitner was trying to make a cut left, ran into his own wide receiver, Colin Pierce, kept his feet moving, and kept the pile moving and got the 1st down. That's a fine piece of running by Drew Leitner. Leitner will stand now to the right of Paltani. They'll fake to him. Paltani will keep it, and the Grizzlies, not fooled, they will bring him down at the line of scrimmage at the 44-yard line. Well done by the Grizzlies. Linebacker Jazz Jackson, who missed the first 2 games of the year, back in there, and he is such an important part. We've done Wadsworth games over the last couple of years. He's so important to this defense. On 2nd and 10, back to throw Paltani. Here's a man open, pass caught at the 20, inside the 20, down to the 15, and now they're going to say incomplete. He had Luke McLaughlin, and just as Luke went to pull it in inside the 15-yard line, lost the handle on the ball, and it's incomplete. Karsten Marshall and Robbie Kellner back on coverage. So make it 3rd down and a long 9. I mean, the ball is just barely across the 44. Paltani ready to go now. Under pressure, being blitzed, throws left side. Pass is caught in bounds. No, incomplete. Vincent Matolka made a terrific effort over on the left sideline and just couldn't keep 1 foot inbounds. And the Grizzlies defense holds, and we will see Wadsworth get the football back as Caleb Junko will come into punt. But credit Wadsworth, they dialed up the blitz there on 3rd and long and made Paltani throw it just a second or so before he wanted to. Still almost got to completion. Matolka made a great effort on it. As Junko will get the kick in there. Good high sailing kick. Fair catch called for and made at the 19-yard line. Brandon Wright made that fair catch. And it will be 1st and 10. They'll actually give Wadsworth a little bit of help there and move the ball at the 20-yard line. So the Grizzlies will start there 1st and 10. As we've got 7:51 to play here in this opening quarter. 7-0 Hudson. Trying to go to 4-0 on the year. Wadsworth at 1-1 coming into this game tonight. Beautiful night here at Artwright Stadium, one of the best settings here in Northeast Ohio to watch a high school football game. Evans will position 3 of his receivers left, 1 to the right, 1st and 10 Grizzlies at their own 20. As Mitch looks to throw, looks right, throws right, pass caught and then dropped at the 26-yard line. That was a high-powered fastball to Tyler Montgomery, and he just couldn't pull it in from going out of bounds. He was covered over on the right side there. Chase Weber amongst those. I think Weber listed as a defensive end, but he was out there helping out in the flat. So it's a 2nd and 10 coming up here. I don't think Evans moving around about as well as can be expected. He's a warrior. Again, same look here for the Grizzlies. 2nd and 10. They'll try a little bubble screen pass. Caught at the 20. Nice block at the 25 and out to the 30 and a first down. Anthony Serino followed his blocks nicely there on the bubble on the left side. And he picks up 10 yards and a first down. Serino on opening night had 4 catches for 113 yards and 2 touchdowns, and the Grizzlies win up at North Royalton at Serpentini Stadium. Didn't play last week, but he is back in there tonight. He's a good target, 5'9", 165 pounds. So Grizzlies get their first down, and now they'll go to work at their own 30. Hudson shows blitz there, almost moved off sides, and they'll go on the ground. It's Brennan Gray getting the carry, and he's going to be brought down for a loss back at about the 27-yard line. Good pressure that time by the Hudson defense. It was just almost felt like they were showing blitz there. Samoyed Reed was amongst those who came out to make that sack. Nicholas Perry also was in there as well. So the ball gets moved back now to the 26, and it'll be a 2nd down and 14. Clock continues to move. We're under 7 minutes to play in this opening quarter. Hudson holding a 7-0 lead. Now it's a 2nd and long. Evans, fake handoff. He will keep it. He'll run it to the 30, 35, 40. First down to the 50. Down the left sideline. Evans off to the races. 20, 15, 10, 5, and in for the touchdown. 74 yards on the touchdown run by quarterback Mitch Evans. Didn't look hurt to me. Wow. That was a thing of beauty by Mitch Evans. And credit his wide receivers for helping to seal off the left side and giving him that alley to run. And once he got to the 50, the foot race was on, and that Division I speed was not going to be brought down. Aiden Mendel for the extra point. It is up, and it is good. Tie ball game, 7 apiece here at Artwright Stadium with 6:19 to play in this opening quarter. Mitch Evans with a 74-yard touchdown run. After the Leitner 3-yard touchdown run for Hudson, we're back to even. That's 7 apiece. Well, you just get the feeling, that there was so much uncertainty this week for Justin Todd and company. Who can play? Who's not going to be able to play? What are we going to do? And you just get, watching Evans, you just kind of get the feeling here at the stadium now. It's a collective, okay. He's okay. We're okay. And it's a much different Wadsworth team when Mitch Evans is able to be effective like that. And we just saw a glimpse of what he can do as a runner, to say nothing of his abilities as a passer as well. So we're all back to even, 7 apiece in our WKYC game of the week. Week number 4 in this abridged season. 6-game regular season, and then we go to the playoffs. At some point here, I think early next week perhaps, we should get a better idea of how the seeding process is going to be worked out. The OHSA is still trying to kind of figure all that in, but when next we talk next Friday, we should have a little bit more clarity as to how that's going to work. Here is Mendel's kick is going to be fielded. Leitner's got it at the 10-yard line. Runs to his left at the 20, finds an alley, 25-30. Leitner to the 40, still on his feet, and finally he'll get knocked out of bounds at the 43. And Wadsworth was flirting there with a late hit. But Leitner, similar to what he did on his first return, he kind of works his way left, and he just kind of found a seam, an alley around the numbers, and has another good return. And the Explorers have tremendous field position. They'll start at their own 44. In this 7-7 tie, Baltani ready here for the shotgun snap. Aiden Lowell will stand to his left, so Leitner will get a breather after that return. They'll go quick wide receiver. Tanazzi has it, and he'll get knocked out of bounds at the 49-yard line. A little quick hitter. And Nick Metzger, the linebacker, pushes them out of bounds. They get 5 on the play, 2nd and 5 from their own 49. Sometimes it's interesting to watch Hudson. Sometimes they'll go right to the line and run the play. Again, quick little bubble screen pass caught at the 50-yard line, and Colin Pierce will go no further. And again, Metzger leading that charge on that tackle. I don't even think they gave him the 50-yard line. No gain on that completion. So it's going to be 3rd down and about 5. 3rd and a long 5. You've got Tanazzi and Pierce to the left. McLaughlin amongst those to the right. They'll go to the right. Pass is caught on that catch. Matulka's got it. 1st down to the 40, and he'll be brought down finally at the Grizzlies' 36-yard line. And that will be a 1st down pickup. Robbie Lynn made the tackle for Wadsworth downfield. Sometimes the Explorers, again, they'll go to the line and just run the play. And then other times they'll step back and look at the coaches for the play as that pass is caught over on the left flat as McLaughlin's got it for a short pickup at the 30. They might give him to the 32 on that play, maybe the 31. About a gain of 5 on there, 2nd and 5. Ready. And this time, he's got some room to the 25, cuts into the 20, 15, 10, 5, foot race on, and he'll win it. Aiden Lau, touchdown, Hudson Explorers. 31 yards on that touchdown run. Back and forth we go as we expected. And it's 13-7 in favor of the Explorers. For Aiden Lau, that is his 3rd touchdown of the season. You know, we all just kind of watched last night. You see the benefit of having 2 terrific running backs. You know, you're able to, because of Aiden Lau, as here's the extra point for Vidmar, it is up, and it's good, 14-7 Hudson. Because of Aiden Lau, if you're Jeff Goff, you can have Drew Leitner return kicks and punts and say, okay, you just got us in a great field position. Get a breather, and Aiden Lau could come in and spot you and rip off a 31-yard touchdown. Again, we just saw it all last night watching the Browns and Bengals, the benefit of having, 2 terrific backs. You're able to, rest one and not give up anything by bringing in the backup. That was a impressive, quick 56-yard touchdown drive by Hudson. Couple of short passes, and then they get that 1st down pickup to Matulka, and that sets up the 31-yard TD run by Aiden Lau. 14-7, Hudson back in the lead. Yes, Junko has it teed up. Brennan Gray amongst those back deep to receive, but I don't know here. Junko's leg is such that at least this side of the field, you may not get a return. Let's see. Nope. This one will also go into the end zone for a touchback. Yeah. And Junko's got quite the leg. All right, so ball at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10 now for the Grizzlies. And they're trailing again 14-7 here in the first quarter as we've got 4:47 to play in the opening frame. Both of Hudson's running backs have scored touchdowns in this first quarter, one by Leitner and one by Lau. Sandwiched is a Mitch Evans 74-yard touchdown run for the Grizzlies. We got a lot of action, as we expected here, between these two teams here in the early going. So Evans and company ready to go, 1st and 10. Yes, Logan Seme is back in there at running back. They'll go on a bubble screen. Labus will run to the right side, make that a jet sweep across the 25 out to the 26-yard line. And Labus averaging about 4 yards per carry when he's running those scenarios. And he'll help his average there on the 7-yard pickup as they'll move it all the way out to the 27. And it'll be 2nd and 3. For 74 yards, and
That's a solid game for.
So they'll go now Montgomery out wide right along with Carter Link. And you've got two receivers to the left. Evans now on a 2nd and 3. Waits for the shotgun snap. It's a low snap. Picks it up. Throws. Pass caught. First down to the 30-yard line. And Carter Link immediately knocked down at that particular point by Samoyed Reed. But that's a first down. Actually, Ian Krause gets credited for that tackle. But it's a first down on the quick hitter from Evans to Link. Wadsworth will go with 3 receivers to the right. Fresh set of downs, 1st and 10. As they'll mark it now at the 31-yard line of the Grizzlies. Yes. Mitch Evans gets the signal, and Labus going to go in motion. They'll go jet sweep left this time. And this time the Explorers are ready, and they'll bring Labus down, and they're going to say it was a fumble. Now let's see what the officials say. Still no. There it is. Explorers football. They'll have it at the Grizzlies' 32-yard line. I think Ben Coates, the linebacker for Hudson, came away with the recovery. Yeah, I was watching there. They ran the exact, similar play to what we had seen when the drive started. Just a little jet sweep to Labus, and it was kind of stood up once he had gotten to the 32, and somebody picked his pocket. So turnover will give it to the Explorers, who lead it 14-7, trying to tack on more here with 3:19 to go in this first quarter. As Jacob Paltani will go 2 receivers to each side. Quick drop, throws right side, pass caught. Matulka's got it, and he'll cross the 30 and take it inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line. So give him about 5. Yeah, nothing fancy. Just kind of moves things along here, gets this team quickly to the line on those throws. Paltani this time rolling left. Time, looks, throws, and incomplete. Trying to get to McLaughlin at the 10-yard line. Pretty well covered downfield by the Grizzlies, and it will set up a 3rd and 5. There's a flag down as well back at the 33-yard line, so we'll check on that. Unfortunately, roughing the quarterback against the Grizzlies is going to be the call. So auto first down for the Explorers. And, back-to-back huge mistakes here by the Grizzlies, already down 14-7. You get the fumble, and now a roughing the passer penalty, and quickly now it's 1st and 10 at the 14 for the Explorers. Paltani will have Aiden Lau to his left from the 14. Paltani, plenty of time. Now he's flushed. Looking, throws, pass caught at the 5-yard line and then pushed back is Cade Tanazi. He was knocked out of bounds by Karsten Marshall. We'll see where they spot this. At about the 6-yard line, it'll be 2nd and 2. It's a great job by Paltani. He had time, and then quickly knew the pocket was collapsing. He'll roll right time. This time he has a man wide open. Touchdown, Vincent Matulka. Almost like a little pick play to the right. And Matulka was able to slip into the flat, and he catches that 6-yard touchdown. Hudson stretches its lead down to 20-7 with 2:16 to go in this first quarter. For Jacob Paltani, now it's his 6th touchdown pass of the season, and that is Matulka's 2nd touchdown catch. Opportunistic. The Hudson Explorers take advantage of the fumbles, the extra point, up and good. Vidmar, 19 attempts, 19 makes in these first 3+ games of 2020 for the Explorers. 21-7 Hudson. You felt coming in Wadsworth was going to have to play at a high level in this game. Not letter perfect per se, but they couldn't afford costly penalties like a roughing the passer, and you certainly couldn't afford a fumble, and those back-to-back errors helped lead to a Hudson touchdown to stretch out their lead. In addition, Jake Vidmar has already gotten plenty of work here for extra points in this first quarter. That's also meant Caleb Junko has gotten plenty of work handling kickoffs. (21-7) Explorers here at Arkwright Stadium late in this first quarter. That momentum we just talked about as that kick is going to go over the head and for another touchback. Brennan Gray thought about, but of course with high school, even if you catch it in the end zone, it's a touchback. But he looked back anyway. But you just kind of felt like that after the touchdown run by Evans. Wadsworth really had kind of gotten themselves into it and just kind of had almost like a sigh of relief. Our guys back, but a good kick return by Leitner helped set up the Lau touchdown, and then the fumble sets up the TD pass. And Wadsworth's got some work to do here. From their own 20, 1st and 10. Evans gets a snap. Quick throw left side. Labus at the 25, first down to the 30, and he'll be run out of bounds at the 34-yard line by John Inamorado. But that's a first down pickup, and they go right back to Barrett Labus, which is good to see after the fumble. Jacob Clary, Brendan DeMonk, and Chase Weber up front for the Explorers on defense. Finally have a minute here to talk about it. Drew Leitner, Ben Coates, Jonathan Heiza, and Adam Oscarson at the linebacker. Oscarson also the safety. Jackson Thomas, Ryan Sudam, Colin Pierce, and Ryan Evans in the secondary with also Inamorado. 1st and 10 now for the Grizzlies. Evans rolling right, throwing right, pass caught at the 39-yard line. Montgomery breaks one tackle and falls forward near the 41-yard line. So it's close to 7, maybe 8 on that pickup. And it will be 2nd down and short. We're down to 1:35 to play in this first quarter. 21-7 Hudson. Tyler Carey will join us at the end of the first quarter with some score updates from around the area. So on 2nd and 2, Brennan Gray will move over to a wing on the right side. 2 receivers on each side here for quarterback Mitch Evans. 2nd and short. Evans, short drop. He's in trouble, able to get out of it. He runs for the first down to the 45 and then is put down at the 46-yard line by Ben Coates. Evans moving gingerly, but as we saw in the 74-yard touchdown run, the wheels are still there. I think sometimes it's just kind of once you get that initial run and get that adrenaline going, then you don't remember that you're hurting a little bit. So it's a first down, fresh set of downs here for the Grizzlies. As Ethan Korecki and Barrett Labus will go out wide left. And you got Sereno over to the right with Montgomery. 1st and 10 here for the Grizzlies. As Evans looks to throw, pressured, in trouble. Can he get away? Nope. He's going to be put down all the way back at about the 37-yard line. Chase Weber would just not let go of Evans and held him up long enough for his teammates to come over and finish off the play. Samoyed Reed converged on there. Ian Krause converged down there, and they finally got that sack. And that is going to do it for quarter number 1. It is going to be a 2nd and 18 for the Grizzlies when we resume action, as Tyler Carey has joined us here in our football Zoom room. And TC, what's happening around the area here is we're 1 quarter into our game here in Wadsworth.
That's right, Dino. Well, we were talking about that Chardon Riverside game earlier. That game is 12 minutes in, second quarter. Those 2 teams are scoreless. So a defensive battle so far in Lake County.
You're kidding me.
Nope, scoreless in the second quarter in Paynesville. Some other games that have reached the second quarter. Menor currently leads Brunswick by a score of 14-0. Avon Lake over Amherst 7-0. And Mogador leads Southeast 15-0. Some games still in the first quarter. Stowe over North Royalton 6-0. Brecksville over Barberton 7-0. And Streetsboro currently leads Cloverleaf. That is a 14-7 ball game.
Yeah, that was one of the games you were keeping an eye on to see. Streetsboro has had this kind of rising here the last 2 years in Division III, and I'll be curious to see how that one plays itself out.
Absolutely, especially again with all the transfer players they got in, with some programs being in flux this year. Some players decided to move on to other programs. We understand why they did that, but they've been a powerhouse so far, and if they can keep it up against Cloverleaf tonight, I think people really got to start taking them seriously.
All right, TC, we'll catch you at halftime, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dino. Appreciate it.
Here in Wadsworth, as we start the second quarter, Hudson leading it 21-7, and after the sack, it will be 2nd and 18 for Evans and company back at their own 38-yard line. Evans gets the snap, looks to throw, fires left side, Labus with the catch, and breaks away at the 30, ahead to the 25, sidesteps at the 20, to the 15, to the 10, 5, touchdown on a brilliant piece of running by Barrett Labus. 62 yards on that touchdown connection. As good of some open field running as we've seen all year long. I mean, when he got to the 30, it was one thing, but the 2 or 3 moves he made at the 20-yard line, as good as we've seen all year long. That is Labus's 4th touchdown catch of the year, and for Mitch Evans, TD pass number 9. Extra point is up, and it is good. So Mendel's 2 for 2, and Wadsworth roars back with the touchdown pass. They trail 21-14, 15 seconds into this second quarter. I'll tell you, Barrett Labus was a man possessed on that drive. Kind of started it off with the first down catch and then finished it with the 62-yard reception after the fumble on the previous possession. You know what? And Mitch Evans went right to him. You love to see that. Senior to senior respect. And then again, that's what the Grizzlies needed. Now they're going to need their defense to figure out how to corral this Hudson, especially the running attack, but this Hudson attack. So far, you've got Lau with a touchdown. Leitner has a touchdown run. This is talking about Hudson. And then Matulka has the TD catch. So 3 different players, 3 different touchdowns. And Evans has been responsible for both of the Wadsworth touchdowns, one on a 74-yard run and one on a 62-yard pass. 21-14, Hudson, as Mendel approaches the football, and it will be returnable. Again, Leitner has it at the 10, again runs left, again crosses the 30, 35, 36, 37, and maybe the 38-yard line. Maybe you want to kick it away from Drew Leitner. He is really giving his team excellent field position. I mean, I think on these kick returns, if you think about it, the average starting possession has been right around the 40-yard line here. And that's not even counting the fumble recovery when Hudson started at their own 32. I mean, they have really controlled the field position in this football game. Explorers by 7, back on offense. As Jacob Paltani will look over to his right to get in the signal. He'll go with 2 receivers on each side, including Aiden Lau. He's over there on the far side left. Leitner to the left, back to throw. Paltani throws behind and almost intercepted at the 40-yard line. Was intended for Colin Pierce, but I got to tell you, it came very, very close to being a pick 6 for Skylar Kreis. Big break. 2nd and 10. Baltani throws over the middle. Bat is caught, and that's a first down. Tanazi has it out to the 50-yard line. And a gain of 12 and a first down for the Explorers. McLaughlin, really good target there on the right side, and they'll go right back to him. A little loop pass, wide open, breaks a tackle at the 30, still on his feet and wrestled down at the 26-yard line. 24 more yards. Cade Tanazi, along with Luke McLaughlin, just kind of getting this offense going, and we've got momentary stoppage, and I don't really know why.
That was Tanozi on the tackle again, or on the reception. And
Skylar Kreis, I think, was trying to get off the field for Wadsworth, and there was an issue at the 30-yard line here. All right. So the Explorers, on a couple of completions to Cade Tanazi, are on the move here. They haven't started the play clock yet here.
the numbers talking to one of the linesmen. And now he retreats. It's 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Grizzlies
Trips left, one receiver right, and they'll go on the ground. Leitner will cross the 20, take it down to the 18-yard line. And some pushing and shoving there as they try to clear the pile. About a gain of 7 on first down for Drew Leitner. But a good response drive here by the Explorers. And Leitner again gets the carry. Again runs left inside the 15. Tripped up as he runs to about the 12 to the 11-yard line. And a very late flag thrown by the officials. A lot of jawing, a lot of pushing here between these two Suburban League rivals, and when that flag was thrown, you figured some kind of an unsportsmanlike might be the call here. And again, we're on the visitor side, so we see it from the official, from the backside. Personal foul on Wadsworth is the call. So that will move the football ahead to move it to the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal from there. Wadsworth has not helped themselves tonight with penalties and that costly fumble. Officials were saying something here as they're just trying to get everything situated, and I don't think everybody is quite convinced that the ball should be at the 5-yard line, or it's just shy of the 5, by the way. 1, 2, 3. Somebody forgot the little yard marker that they've been using this year because of COVID-19. The stoppage in play will allow Jacob Baltani to come over and have a quick word with Jeff Goff. Well, the officials still try to figure out what we should have here. I mean, we think it's 1st and goal. We think the ball's at the 5. Or actually, no, wait a minute. Yeah, the yard marker, I apologize, not first, it's not and goal. It's actually, yeah, it's 1st and short at the 2. Okay, that makes, all right, well, that's, I think, a little bit better, I guess. From the 6, on 1st and short, pass is caught over on the left side, lunging towards the goal line, but not getting in, I think, was Aiden Lau. So it'll be a 1st down, but not a touchdown, and we've got an injured Wadsworth player. The injured Grizzly, and trying to see who that is over on the far side, but that's been, unfortunately, here in the first couple of weeks, an all too familiar sight here for Wadsworth. They've just been so banged up by injuries. It looks like Karsten Marshall, I think, was the player who has left the game. So it's going to be a 1st and goal. off the short shotgun, both Leitner and Lau in the backfield. Leitner gets to Carey, and he'll go forward for the touchdown. Second touchdown run of the first half for Drew Leitner. Touchdown number 9 of the season. And the Explorers now lead it 27-14. 9:56 to go here in the first half. As we said, that was a terrific response drive by Hudson. A couple passes to Gabe Tanazi. As here's the extra point. It is up, and it is good. Yeah, Tanazi really kind of got them into scoring range, and that sets up the Leitner touchdown run, and it's back to a 14-point lead for the Explorers here in this second quarter. Yeah, if you're just joining us, I said right at the start of tonight's game, it might be like the first to 50 wins in this game tonight. Grizzlies averaging 42 points per contest. I'm sorry, take that back. Grizzlies averaging 51 points per contest. Hudson's averaging 45. Now, Hudson's played one more game than Wadsworth has, but you get the message. These are two explosive teams, and we've seen nothing here in the first half that doesn't indicate that. Really, one of the differences in this game has been the Labus fumble that gave Hudson a short field, and they were able to tack on a touchdown. They kind of stretch out their margin a little bit. Caleb Junko will kick it off, and we'll see how does he do it, kicking towards the north side of the end zone. Yeah, he's pretty good there too. Now it's another touchback. 20-yard line for the Grizzlies. It'll be 1st and 10. And let's see what Mitch Evans and company can do. Down 14. Looking over on the far side here. They're a little sideline home. Justin Todd trying to get the offense rolling. Really, after that first possession, the offense hasn't been a real problem here for Wadsworth tonight. Like a lot of teams in the area, they just haven't been able to slow down Hudson. Ethan Korecki will line up wide left. A triangle to the right in a bunch. As Evans is ready. 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Grizzlies. Evans looks left, now steps up, throws right, incomplete, overshot Labus, who's begging for a flag. And he's not going to get it. It'll be 2nd and 10. That was a absolute dart thrown by Mitch Evans there. Over on that right side, 2nd down and 10. Evans has a 74-yard touchdown run and a 62-yard TD pass here in this first half. Going to need a lot more to keep up with what Hudson's been doing here. Evans on a quick drop this time. Pass is caught at the 25-yard line to the 30-35. Sereno will get knocked out of bounds at the 40. Now we'll check on the flag back at the 25, which is about where the reception happened. And now we have another flag that was thrown after the play ended. Officials are going to need to get some control here. Wadsworth executing the retreat formation here, so at least one of the penalties the Grizzlies assume is on them. Justin Todd about 5 yards onto the field, trying to get an explanation. It's an OPI, an offensive pass interference. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike on Wadsworth. Wow. So my guess is somebody, either from the Wadsworth sideline or maybe Labus when he was running back, got flagged for saying something the officials didn't appreciate, for not, calling the what they thought was an interference penalty. So The ball's going to get marched inside the 10, back to the 5-yard line, where it is going to be, what, 2nd and 25? Wow. 9:41 to go, first half, and the Grizzlies digging themselves into a mighty big hole right now. Evans in that short shotgun, quick throw. Sereno's got it at the 10 and brought down at about the 12-yard line. So he gets 7, and it's still going to be about a 3rd and 18. Well, just what it looked like. That, Sereno got them to the 40-yard line. They call him for the offensive pass interference, and I think some frustration because of the Labus in the play on the play before. You get the the unsportsmanlike. It's just kind of shake your head. It's that kind of night. So it's a 3rd and 18 now for the Grizzlies from about the 11. Here's Evans, drops back, flushed, gonna tuck and run, and he'll take it, and lost the football as he was put down at the 18-yard line. Hudson says they have it. Let's see if the officials concur. No, it'll be Wadsworth football. I'll tell you, Chase Weber is having a super first half for the Explorers and almost got a turnover. So Evans will stand about 3 yards in his own end zone to wait the snap to punt it away. Quarterback to quarterback. How often do you see this? And then we've got a timeout here. One quarterback punting it to the other team's quarterback. Again, you don't see that very often. Certainly in high school football occasionally, but not very often. But Paul Tanny will await the punt after the timeout. I didn't even see who called the timeout. It was taken by the Explorers. No, I take that back. I'm not sure who took the timeout. Okay. Now it looks like we're ready to go here. Oh, did they wipe out the last play? Yeah, this is all kinds of weird here, folks. Are we're replaying 3rd down? This is crazy. And I understand why Jeff Goff was upset, and I understand why Justin Todd was upset a few moments ago. The men in stripes are not having a banner first half. I mean, we were all set to punt the football. At least that's what I thought.
It was a spike on the play, and Coach Todd made a point on his radio show on Thursday.
And now we're going to have all 5 officials try to sort this out. It's just the kind of thing that just drives you nuts. We're here at Outright Stadium. It's not a full house, obviously, because of COVID-19, but you can, both sides, everybody's upset. I mean, we thought it was a 4th down, 3rd and 17. So, I mean, I guess what the initial call was, maybe there was not a law. I have no idea. Honestly, no idea. And thank God I'm not the only one up in this press box who's as baffled as I am. Yeah, I mean, both Justin Todd and Jeff Goff just want to know, hey, listen. And like I can kind of read the body language of Jeff Goff trying to basically give the sequence of the plays that transpired. Let's see if we're going to have another powwow here. I see Justin Todd over on the far side talking to Hudson cornerback Jackson Thomas. And I think they were both shaking their heads saying, I have no idea. The referee is going to talk to the coach now. I mean, one side is not going to be happy with all this, but I mean, you just gotta figure this out. I mean, this shouldn't be that hard. And I think the Hudson, I think it's going to be fourth down again. Well, it took about 10 minutes to determine what we thought we already knew a few moments ago. It's fourth down. Okay. 7:59 to go here in the second quarter. 28-14. Hudson on top of Wadsworth, and as expected. And I get why Justin Todd's upset. I get it. And it's necessitating three officials to give him an explanation. And, I mean, again, because of the way this whole sequence of plays kind of transpired, I knew he was going to be upset, but all right, so Evans will go to punt. Again, about 3 yards in the end zone. Paltani in single safety right at midfield. Actually, he'll take a step into Wadsworth territory. Hudson leads it 28-14. Figuring to get the football in good field position. Low snap, it skips on the field turf. Evans with a great punt, driving Paltani all the way back to his own 40, ahead of the 45 and pushed out of bounds at the 50-yard line. The fact that Mitch Evans even got hold everything. There's a flag back there at the 2-yard line. So hang on. In the area, one might think maybe some kind of a roughing or running into the punter.
We'll just wait until the ball is placed down.
Yep. First down, Wadsworth. Well, I guess for Wadsworth, if you're a Grizzly fan listening, maybe you might say to yourself, that's some poetic justice. I don't know. But the football gets moved up to the Wadsworth 28. After all of that, a fresh set of downs for the Grizzlies. And again, give Evans so much credit because it was not a good snap. Took a skip on the field turf in the end zone. So he's got to get that ball up and get it out quickly. Did so, got it like 50 yards in the air, and ends up getting the roughing the punter, roughing the kicker. Evans to throw on first down, bubble screen through the hands of Serino. It's incomplete. Even if Anthony makes that catch, there was a lot of traffic over on the right side, but the ball was thrown a little too high for him anyway. It'll be second down. But it kind of feels like a turnover with the way that sequence played itself out, and Wadsworth at least, gets some new life. At one point, they had a 2nd and 25 during all of that mess there. Grizzlies trail by 14, facing a 2nd and 10 at their own 28. Quarterback Mitch Evans will have two receivers to each side. Brennan Gray on the wing right. Back to throw Evans. Pocket starts to collapse. He throws. Pass caught. First down across the 40 to the 43-yard line. Tyler Montgomery makes the catch. Brought down by Adam Oscarson, and a first down for the Grizzlies. Pick up about 17 on that play. Fine throw again by Mitch Evans. Boy, if you're Wadsworth, what you would love to do, obviously get to within a touchdown, but leave as little time as possible for Hudson. Because remember, Wadsworth will start the second half with the football. Serino and Montgomery go out wide left. 1st and 10. Explorers momentarily showing blitz. They'll go a delay blitz. Evans throws, looks for Labus, overshot him at the 32 of the Explorers. Colin Pierce was with them step for step on coverage. It'll be a 2nd down and 10. Also back in coverage was Caleb Junko, the aforementioned punter and kicker, so playing in the secondary. I'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Labus will go over to the slot right this time. 3 receivers to the right. Montgomery, the lone receiver, left. 2nd and 10 for the Grizzlies. As Mitch Evans looks to throw, fires left side and overshot his intended receiver, Ethan Korecki. Ryan Sudam over on the coverage, over on the left side to bring up a 3rd and 10. Hudson trying to mix things up with their defense on just kind of delay blitzes, just trying to confuse Evans as much as they can and get some pressure on him. And that time I think Mitch threw it a little earlier than he would have wanted to and affected the timing of that pass. So set up a 3rd and 10. 6:43 to play here in this first half. Hudson 28, Wadsworth 14. Empty backfield, Evans. Labus in motion going left to right. Evans rolling right, looking, firing, and pass is caught at the 37-yard line of the Explorers and a 1st down by Tyler Montgomery. Hugging that sideline right in front of the Grizzly bench. Makes a great catch. And that's a 1st down for the Grizzlies. That was a fine throw by Mitch Evans. Well, looks like we also had a penalty there on the far side. Roughing the passer. So tack on 15 after that completion to Montgomery. Should take it down to about the 22, maybe? Yeah, 22-yard line and a 1st down. Well, now, earlier in this game, it was Wadsworth committing the turnovers and the costly penalties. On the sequence, we've had a roughing the kicker penalty and now a roughing the passer by the Explorers. Some of that is frustration at the way kind of this game has been called, quite frankly, as Evans looks to throw over the middle. Pass is caught inside the 10-yard line, and they'll set it up at about the 8. It'll be a 1st and goal as Montgomery comes away with the reception. So it'll be a 1st and goal. They'll spot the football at the 7-yard line as we approach 6 minutes to play. This 2nd quarter has been at a turtle pace here. We're only halfway into it here because of all these stoppages. Wadsworth trying to cut into this 14-point deficit. Evans will go to the shotgun, 2 receivers each side. And he will keep it. He'll run right to the 5-4-3-2-1. Touchdown, Mitch Evans. For the 2nd time in the first half, Mitch Evans with a touchdown run for the Grizzlies. And it brings Wadsworth to within 28-20 with 5:52 to go in the half. 3rd touchdown run of the season for Mitch Evans. He has a 74-yard TD run tonight and now a 7-yard touchdown run. Mendel for the extra point. And snap. Hold is good. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 28-21. We've had 7 touchdowns in this first half. And we still have a long way to go. 5:52 to go in this 2nd quarter. Unbelievable. 28-21 Hudson. Yeah, you want offense? We got it. That was a huge sequence of events because just when it looked like Hudson was going to take over right about the 50-yard line and try to stretch that 14-point lead to maybe a 21-point lead, you get the roughing the kicker, the roughing the punter penalty to give the Grizzlies a fresh set of downs. Wadsworth able to kind of get themselves moving offensively. And then after you get the completion of Montgomery and a brilliant catch over near the Wadsworth sideline, you tack on the roughing the passer penalty, and Wadsworth able to take advantage of it and punch it in for the touchdown. Again, both teams, when they've been opportunistic tonight, they've got the breaks. They've been able to take advantage of it. 28-21, Hudson. We thought we were going to get some offense tonight, and it has not disappointed us. Mendel will kick it off. Drew Leitner awaits it, and Leitner's got it at the 10. Leitner ahead to the 20, and he's kind of stood up. He's able to get forward to the 25 and brought down at the 26-yard line. Easily the worst field position to start a drive tonight for the Explorers. Much better coverage, though, by the Grizzlies. Did not allow that lane to open up. Leitner likes to run to his left once he gets to the 20, and there's been all night long, there's been a lane for him to kind of run through. That time the Grizzlies were able to shut it down and keep Leitner from breaking away. Leitner will be out from this play. Lau comes in at running back. He'll stand next. Quarterback Jacob Paltani. Paltani ready to throw. Time. Fires. Deep right side. There's a collision, and there's going to be a penalty on the Grizzlies at the 45-yard line of Wadsworth. They were looking for Luke McLaughlin. He got tangled up with cornerback Robbie Kellner. And unfortunately, that's going to be the penalty on Wadsworth. Hudson has been aggressive with that deep ball all first half long with Paltani. Mostly it's been a Luke McLaughlin. A couple times they've gone or tried to go to Tanazi. Trips right, one receiver left over on that far side left. Tanazi is over there. 5:38 to play, second quarter. 28-21, Paltani fires deep. McLaughlin incomplete at the 20-yard line, trying to thread the needle as he was being covered pretty well. Brandon Wright amongst those back on the coverage, and he almost did thread the needle, talking about Paltani. As McLaughlin had gotten a little bit of separation, but it's incomplete. It's 2nd and 10, and McLaughlin, after running 2 straight deep passes, is going to get a breather on the sidelines. He's earned it, I think. 2nd and 10. And Aiden Lau will stand to the left of Jacob Paltani. Paltani, quick drop, fires at the 50. Pass caught by Pierce, and he's put down at the Wadsworth 42. But that's another first down on a quick hitter from Paltani to Colin Pierce. And quickly, Hudson at the line. From the 41, on the ground, Lau cuts at the 30. First down to the 26 and down to the 25-yard line before he is finally tackled there. Jazz Jackson made the tackle. But Hudson mixing it up there with a pass and then a run. And they're approaching the red zone here quickly. Up by 7. 5:15 to go in this first half. Looking over Ryan Evans. Is that Evans? Yeah, I think it is. Evans is over there on the left side at receiver with Tanazi. And then you've got Pierce over to the right. And a new Hudson receiver, Shane Kilgoyle. As this time it'll be Lau on the carry to the 15, breaks away and dives for the pylon. Touchdown, Hudson. Aiden Lau from 25 yards out, his second touchdown of the first half. Boy, it's exciting when he gets into the open field, and Hudson now leads it 34-21. Lau with touchdown runs of 31 yards, and that one a 25-yarder. Jake Vidmar will come in to attempt another extra point. Paltani is the holder here, and the kick is up by Vidmar, and it is good. 5 for 5 on extra points here in the first half. Back to a 14-point lead. Back and forth we go, 35-21. Plenty of time, though, for the make that for the Grizzlies, I should say. They've got all their timeouts remaining, 4:50 to go in the second quarter. And again, I think your ideal scenario, if you're Wadsworth here, if you can get to halftime down 7 and then start the second half with the football, then, if this becomes the last team to have the football wins it, well, then you give yourself a shot. But you've got to figure out a way to get a stop and keep that deficit at around 7. As Junko will kick it off, he's booted everything into the end zone here to this point on his kickoffs. As this one will angle to the 1 and into the end zone for the touchback. Brennan Gray thought about grabbing it, but if he goes and gets it, it would have been poor. He would not have been able to get to the 20, I don't think. So 1st and 10 at the 20 here for Wadsworth, where they pretty much started every drive here tonight. But in this offensive shootout, they'll get it back here with an opportunity, again, to try to gnaw into this deficit. Evans ready. He'll go 2 receivers each side. Explorers showing blitz on first down. They'll back off as Evans, in a little bit of trouble, breaks free, rolls right, looks, throws, and it's incomplete at the 28-yard line. Evans just did a great job. The intended receiver was Carter Link. And just give Mitch Evans a ton of credit for keeping that play alive. Jacob Carey was providing pressure from his defensive end spot. And these ends are very, very talented for Hudson's defense. And that's not to say, we've seen Ian Krause on the defensive line, Nicholas Perry on the defensive line tonight too. But as far as the ends, Weber and Cleary have been terrific thus far. 2nd and 10. Evans backpedals, rolls right, looks, throws, pass on the run, caught at the 29-yard line and out of bounds. Right near the first down marker is Ethan Korecki. And that should be an official saying, yep, that's a first down. Well, Evans just, with his feet, just does a great job keeping the play alive. And that was a nice pattern by Korecki. Made the catch on the run and gives the Grizzlies a first down at the 30. 4:29 to play here in the first half. Hudson 35, Wadsworth 21. Long count here for the Grizzlies. Back to throw. And in trouble is Evans. He was able to get rid of it. And it's incomplete, I think. Hudson saying it should be a fumble. It might be an illegal forward pass. I mean, I would think that might be the intentional grounding. I would think that might be the proper call. Everybody on our side, because remember we're on the visitor side, thinks it should be a fumble. And unfortunately, it requires, again, another conference from the men in stripes, which is when we've had problems tonight. .420 to go here in this first half. Wadsworth trailing at 35-21. And Justin Todd is getting two officials over to talk to him. Yeah, I would be stunned, though, if they called this a fumble. Evans was trying to get rid of it. He's waiting for somebody, and the crowd might go up a little bit, just make the call. You just at some point you're going to make somebody unhappy. Just make a call here. Yeah, and I think that's the right call. Is intentional grounding is the call. I think it's the right call. Now, I mean, Hudson will say, well, it should be a fumble, but I think that's the right decision. And now, Jeff Goff, 5 yards onto the field, wants an explanation. And the crowd on both sides getting restless, and I get it. It's frustration all around. This all stems from what took place earlier in this quarter. You may have heard the Grizzlies or the Explorers are going to decline the penalty. It's 2nd and 10. Yeah, I guess I don't understand if I see Coach go, I'll have to ask him about that later. That's interesting that he declined that. 2nd and 10 for Wadsworth from their own 30. Here's Evans looking over the middle, pass deflected and incomplete. It was almost intercepted. John Inamorado was the player who deflected and almost intercepted it. And then you had Ryan Evans coming up from the backside safety who had a shot at picking that off. 3rd and 10. And this is a pivotal down here for Wadsworth. And they do not want to give the football back to Hudson, already down by 2 touchdowns with a boatload of time to go before halftime, 4:13 to be precise. And Hudson has all their timeouts remaining. Big 3rd down and 10. Evans ready. Rolls left. Looks, throws, incomplete at the 35-yard line, looking for Sereno. Ben Coates amongst those over on the coverage, along with Inamorado. And on 4th down, it will be a punting situation on 4th and 10. So it will be a punting situation. Paul Tanny will drift back to his own 32 to await this punt from Mitch Evans. Evans has had a couple of beauties so far tonight, in addition to 2 touchdown runs and 1 TD pass. Good snap this time, and the kick is high. Paul Tanny backpedals, fair catch called and made at the 28-yard line. Paul Tanny moves it up to the 30. Yeah, nice try. They'll spot it at the 28-yard line. It'll be a 1st and 10 for Hudson there. And again, Hudson with 3:59 to go before halftime has all their timeouts remaining, leading by 14. That's exactly what the Explorers wanted, though. Get the stop, give their offense another crack at it. A 14-point lead right now in this game doesn't feel that comfortable. 21, I think, would feel a lot more comfortable for Jeff Goff. B-trips on the right, 1 receiver left. Paul Tanny to throw on 1st down. Flushed. He'll take off and run at the 30 and run out of bounds about the 36-yard line. So he gets about 8 on that scramble, and it'll be 2nd and 2. And quickly now at the line. Looks like Paul Tanny wanted to run a play. Now they'll look over at the bench here and get the call. Drew Leitner will stand to the left of Paul Tanny. 2 receivers to each side. Paul Tanny to throw. Lofts one deep right. Has a man open and overshot Tanazzi at the 25-yard line. A little too much on that one there from Jacob. Yes. Nick Metzger was amongst those back on coverage. And it will be now a 3rd and about 2 on the ground. Here's Leitner And gets the first down, 45. He's to the 50. He's to the 40. He's to the 30. Leitner down to the 20, 15, 10, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Hudson Explorers. 63 yards on that touchdown scamper by Drew Leitner on a 3rd and 2. Boy, the touchdowns tonight, a lot of them have not been short. They have been long ones. You know, Hudson, 25-yard touchdown run, 31-yard touchdown run, 63 yards. And Hudson now 41 points in this first half. Extra point, Vidmar up, and it is good. 6 for 6 in the first half for Jake Vidmar. 22 out of 22 this year. Make that actually, yeah, that's right, 22 out of 22. The math is still okay. And now it's a 21-point lead for the Explorers with 3:32 to go before halftime. And I just thought, boy, on that if they could have gotten a stop there on 3rd and short, get the ball back, it would have been huge. But once Drew Leitner got to about the 45, he made a terrific cut in the open field and shifted towards the outside. And there was only one man for him to beat. And once he got to about the 15-yard line, there was no chance for anybody to catch Drew Leitner. Leitner with touchdowns of 3 yards and 63 yards tonight. Aiden Lau with a 31-yard touchdown and a 25-yard touchdown run. Amongst other things. As this kick is going to be another touchback, just about a yard or two into the end zone over Gray's head. There's also, I'm missing one. There was also a 6-yard touchdown pass to Matulka. I'm missing one. I mean, we've had all kinds of scores here tonight. Grizzlies. Grizzlies will take over now at the 20-yard line. And it'll be a 1st and 10 from there. 3:32 to go in this first half. And it is a priority for the Grizzlies here to score before halftime. Labus drops the bubble screen. It's incomplete. And Hudson wisely tried to pounce on it in case it was called a lateral. It was not, but heads up the Explorer defense anyway, and it's a 2nd and 10. Shame of it is Barrett had some blockers out in front of him, so if he could have hauled that in, would have had something, but unable to make that catch, and it's a 2nd and 10. There's a Wadsworth receiver over on the left who's limping. 2nd and 10. Sereno in motion. Give to him on the jet sweep, and he's going to be brought down for a loss back at the 15-yard line. I think that was Chase Weber. It was either Weber or Carey who came over to make the stop at the end. I think it was Weber. Well read by the Explorers. So that's a loss. They'll move it to about the 17. So a loss of 3, and it's a 3rd down and 13. Jeff Goff will take a timeout for Hudson with 3:19 to go, sensing that his team could get the football back before halftime. It'll be a 3rd and 13 for Wadsworth. 42-21. Grizzlies trailing here. And as I said, the last thing they can afford to do right now is give it right back to Hudson, because the Explorers have pretty much scored at will here tonight. 42 points in one half of football. And you get the feeling another punt and the ball goes back to Hudson. They're going to punch it in again. But that timeout at least gives Justin Todd the opportunity to kind of dial something up here and figure out something. As they try to get 13 yards here on third down. Brennan Gray in motion, right to left, back to throw. Evans with another delay blitz. They'll dump it off. Evans make the Gray at the 15 to the 20. He'll go to the 30 for the first down. Gray to the 40. Afterburners on down the right side to the 30 to the 20, and finally knocked out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. Brennan Gray on a well-conceived play on 3rd and 13, slipped out of the backfield and gets Wadsworth. They'll mark him at the 20-yard line. 53 yards on that completion. On 3rd and 13, wow. Huge, huge play for the Wadsworth Grizzlies. They start the play clock here, and at least I think they start the play clock here. There's a delay getting this play in here, and Wadsworth's going to have to hurry on the ball. Play clock is at 9. 2 receivers to each side. Play clock at 5. Evans ready. Man in motion. Sereno fake to him. Evans keeps it up the middle inside the 15, and he'll be pulled down at the 13-yard line. Well, and this is wise. I think grind as much as you can, I think is the right approach here for Wadsworth. Leave Hudson as little time as possible while still getting a touchdown here in this drive. 2:33 and counting to play here in the first half. At halftime, I'll let you enjoy the Wadsworth band. And then we'll check in with Tyler Carey and see what else is happening around the area in high school football. Some of those big games tonight. Menor Brunswick. As Justin Todd will take a timeout here. As again, they were a little bit late getting that play in. It happened on the previous play too. So they'll take the timeout. Each team now with 2 timeouts remaining. 2:15 to play. Here in this first half, it'll be a 2nd and 3 for the Grizzlies at the Hudson 13. Yeah, that Riverside Chardon game, very interested in that. I just surprised because, I mean, we saw what Riverside did last week with their offense. And, you know, look, Chardon, excuse me, not a high-powered offense. They run their wing T, but it's been very effective, and they can score points with that offensive line in the running game. So I was very surprised to hear that there wasn't any scoring in that first quarter. 2 very good teams. So look forward to hearing what TC has on that one. Avon Lake and Amherst doing battle tonight. Amongst other action going on here in this week 4. And starting to get more game, you know, because of the Jewish holiday this weekend, Rosh Hashanah. We're having games on Thursday last night, and then games throughout the weekend here in week number 4. Out of the timeout on 2nd and 3, Evans, delay, little reverse to Gray, and initially got to about the 12 and then was pushed back there. Hudson did a good job stringing it out, and it will be a 3rd down and short. Kind of had everything was going to the left and then kind of gave it back on the draw right side to Gray. And again, it kind of felt like a reverse the way everything was moving left. So it will be 3rd down. Actually, a loss is on the call. 3rd and 4 back to the 14. I thought he had gotten forward, but apparently not over on the far side. A little hard to see from where our vantage point is. 3rd and 4. Gray will shift left. Back to throw. Evans on the draw. He'll keep it. He'll run to the 10, which should be enough for the first down if they mark him there. And we've got some extracurriculars. There goes the flag again. That's been another problem here. We'll wait and see how they unpile this. The first question is, Jeff Goff about 10 yards on the field. Yeah, a long-time Wadsworth announcer, good buddy of mine, Joe Jastrzemski over at the right. You may have heard him. He's not happy that Jeff's on the field, but both coaches have been unhappy. They're going to put the ball at the 5, I believe. I think there was a personal foul, I think was after the first down pickup. So it should be first and goal at the 5, I believe. Just shy of the 5. All right, so that much we know. It's going to be first and goal. 1 minute to go here in the second quarter. Play clock is at 7. I mean, Wadsworth is using every second here. They're going to have to hurry. 2, 1, they get it off. Evans gives, and Labus will carry it towards the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, Barrett Labus. With 44 seconds to go before halftime, Labus gets his second touchdown run of the season to pull Wadsworth to within 42-27. If you're scoring at home, that's 10 touchdowns between the two teams in one half. Mendel for the extra point. By the by, Hudson has 2 timeouts remaining. Don't think Jeff Goff is just going to go to a knee here as Mendel's extra point is up and good to make it 42-28 with 44 seconds. Depending on where Leitner returns this ball to, they'll take some shots here. I mean, Jacob Paltani has demonstrated tonight he's got a terrific arm. Yeah, Hudson's not going to be satisfied to just let it run out here. But, you know, the magnitude of that drive, the 53-yard pass on third and 13 to Gray really turns out to be the pivotal play of that drive. And it really set Wadsworth up. They were able to burn some time off the clock and get the touchdown run to Labus to keep them in this football game. And again, Wadsworth will start the second half with the football. So if they can keep it, they wanted to be closer, but if they can keep it here, you know, they may have something here. First and foremost, though, you know, if you're Wadsworth, you're advised to figure out how to prevent Drew Leitner from finding that alley that he's been working through all night long. As the kick will be fielded by Leitner at the 10. Here he goes to the 20, middle of the field, 25, and breaks a tackle, finally put down at about the 30, maybe the 31-yard line. Ian Kaufman on special teams makes that tackle with a little bit of help from Rob Kellner. So the ball will be marked at the 31-yard line. And it will be first and 10 from there. Shotgun for Jacob Paltani. He's got Leitner to his right. 37 seconds to play in this first half. Hudson with a 14-point lead and 2 timeouts to work with. From their own 31. Pass caught. McLaughlin at the 40. Kept inbounds, put down at the 41-yard line right at that first down marker. Clock will stop to move the chains with 30 seconds to go. Quickly, the Explorers on the ball. Paltani gets the snap. Quick throw, and officials will wave it dead. Might have had a false start there. Officials will sort it out. Yep. So back it up 5 and make it first and 15 with 30 seconds exactly to play in the quarter, in the half. Ball will go now back to the Explorer 36. Jacob Paltani has 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Drew Leitner standing to his left. That quick short shotgun. Paltani throws right, pass is incomplete at the 46-yard line. Aiden Lau trying to make a rolling catch out of bounds. Covered by Jazz Jackson. That'll stop the clock. 23 seconds to play, 2nd and 15. Well, that penalty really feels like it's may turn out to be costly to stop the momentum for the Explorers. We'll see. 2nd and 15. Paul Tanny in trouble. Gonna tuck, gonna run at the 40. Jazz Jackson kind of tripped him up and kept him in bounds. Hudson will take a timeout as they'll mark him down at the 43-yard line. That's a fine play by linebacker Jazz Jackson to just kind of reach his leg out and trip him up. It will set up a 3rd down and 8 with 14 seconds to play, and the Explorers now are down to 1 timeout remaining. All kinds of fireworks here tonight in this first half at Art Wright Stadium. This first half has taken about 96 minutes so far. We may be here for a while tonight. Which for my friends over in the newspaper business with deadlines, that does not make them happy. For you at home, listening, it's entertaining for you. It's great for us broadcasters, but my guys have deadlines. So it's Hudson on a 3rd and 8 at their own 43 after that tackle by Jackson. 14 seconds to go before halftime, and Paul Tanny looks, time. Fires right side pass, caught, first down, 45-40, and Colin Pierce will run out of bounds with 6 seconds left at the Wadsworth 37-yard line. And again, you got a timeout here, so if you get a little bit closer and you want to try a field goal, you could. Or if you just want to air it out here, you could do that too. It'll be an empty backfield and 5 wide receivers, including both Lau and Leitner. Back to throw, Paul Tanny. He'll look to the end zone. Leitner there. It's intercepted in the end zone. Picked off by Brandon Wright to end the first half. Boy, I'll tell you, Drew Leitner was open, but Wright did a good job converging the ball and make the play to keep the Explorers from tacking on to the lead. So we will go into halftime with Hudson leading it over Wadsworth 42-28. Again, 10 touchdowns in one half of football. 6 for the Explorers, 4 for the Grizzlies. Offense. We love offense. Okay, we'll let you enjoy the band with us. Tyler Carey now will be back with first half score, or I should say scores from around the area, first half stats and more coming up here in just a little bit. But enjoy, as we shift our camera here for you, enjoy the Wadsworth Marching Band at halftime, everyone.
What we're going to do here is we're going to cheer our fine band here. So Bristol's trail 42-28.
What's up, buddy? What's up, buddy? I saw about Pittsburgh. Did they say what she had? You know,
saw. I didn't see. I mean, I'm sure we pushed. I didn't see our. I saw Fox Eight push. And I didn't want to mention it because I wasn't sure if we had done it yet. So. I was literally before you called us about the text to say how it made it on the story. Craig's probably going crazy. Well, you know what? This is what you get for taking a week off, Craig. Yeah. No, that's the way it's shaping up right now. That's 74. Whoa! I mean, just like turning on the afterburners. Amazing. Yes. My guys from the Beacon Journal and the Center, just This deadline.
It used to be 10:30. Actually, don't have a deadline.
Oh my God.
Yeah, very early.
But like when we were in.
Your deadline is 7:30.
Yes, technically.
Yeah,
When we had that Medina Brunswick game last week, like Rick Nolan was like running to his car.
Oh yeah.
To get because I mean we were so late that day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That got so lucky. Yeah, no question. Yeah, we'll take that anyway. Yeah, we get a good. Yeah, this is my faith in our setup has been restored in terms of this. We've had no issues with the Wadsworth. Your hot spot. Yeah, there was last week too. It's almost unavoidable. What's that? Oh yeah. We still, it's like, hey, radio stations do this. Well, I'm happy about Denise's decision to get her spots. Yeah. We'll figure out. We can pitch one. I mean, I'll pitch it. I'll not on the weekend. Well, did you come up? Yeah, I got it. I got to get back on here in a second. The game just finished, but Denise came out on Slack at 2 o'clock, and I jumped on. She's like, "Oh, nothing's going on today. Blah blah blah." Stop! Don't say anything. All right, I'm gonna jump back on here and just pop in whenever. Okay, thanks.
All right, everyone, welcome back inside the broadcast booth here. Let's we'll let you enjoy the field here. You'll let's see here. Where am I? There we go. Yeah, hi everybody. Welcome back inside the press box here at Artwright Stadium. I'm Dave DiNatale. It is halftime of our WKYC game of the week. And we have had all kinds of scoring. We have had all kinds of excitement. And it has resulted in a just an amazing game. 42-28 is your score here at the break. You sit there and you go, really, that much? Yeah, 10 touchdowns in one half. I mean, Hudson has had leads of 7-0, 14-7. They went up by 3 touchdowns at one point, 42-21. But right before halftime, a key sequence, Wadsworth on a 3rd and 13, backed up inside their own 20-yard line. Mitch Evans with a little pitch and catch to Brennan Gray for 53 yards. And it set the Grizzlies up. They get the touchdown run by Barrett Labus, and they pull to within 14. Now, it's a long way to go, but at the very least, you still feel like if you're Wadsworth, you're in striking distance, knowing that when the second half starts, they're going to have the football and, maybe an opportunity to get to within 7, and then you get a stop, and then anything can happen. But there's a lot of ifs and buts with all that. We've got a long way to go. But the fact that the Grizzlies were able to get that touchdown and leave Hudson no time to come back and do anything before halftime. Although, give the Explorers credit, they were at a Hail Mary there before the end, but they were able to get the interception by Wright before halftime, and they're still in the football game, and that's all you can ask for. So we've already reached the end of the band, and we're let's see the countdown. We're down to 2 minutes on the normal halftime clock, and then they put 3 minutes in a warm time, and not seen a lot of the players on the field yet here. So the coaches have a lot to say. I would imagine probably, let's play some defense, guys. We've had 10 touchdowns between the two teams here in the early going. Tyler Carey is with us. TC, I want to, before we get to scores and everything else, folks may have seen it on our push alert, but the big story of the night, not having anything to do with sports, Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg has passed away. A model of courage. She has been, sick for a long time, but she has been just an absolute juggernaut in the Supreme Court. And that is going to be a big, big loss for the country. And we have pushed that out. There's more information at WKYC.com.
No doubt, Dino. I mean, this has certainly drawn a lot of reactions so far. Justice Ginsburg did die today of pancreatic cancer at the age of 87. The court did confirm. I'll read a brief statement, partial statement from Chief Justice John Roberts. Quote, "Our nation has lost a jurist of historic stature. We at the Supreme Court have lost a cherished colleague." There are reports that President Trump is planning to put forth a nominee despite the election being less than 2 months away. That has not been confirmed. The president has not yet spoken on Justice Ginsburg's death, but sadly, this is probably going to turn into another one of those very partisan political battles. But right now, I think the main focus is going to be on mourning the life of a giant of the American legal world, regardless of if you agreed with her views or not. Many people certainly respected her courage and her leadership for all these years.
Yeah, there. If you want to know more about her life, there's the documentary RBG, and there was also a movie of Felicity Jones about her life. So we'll hear more about Ruth Bader Ginsburg and her life and her career, the groundbreaking, trailblazing Supreme Court justice who passed away today at the age of 87. Okay, with that said, TC, what is going on in terms of the high school football realm tonight here as we are in week number 4 with all sorts of meaningful games, not just here in Wadsworth, but across the area?
Well, Dino, just to put into perspective how slow this game that we're broadcasting has gone, although it's been very exciting, there are several games that we have been following that are currently in the 4th quarter of play across the region. Just some for you. Nordonia currently up on Highland, 30-21. That game is in the 4th. A Suburban League battle there. Menor beating up on Brunswick, 38-0 in the 4th. The Cardinals coming off that tough loss to St. Edward the week before. Avon Lake beating Amherst Steel, 21-7. That game is in the 4th quarter. Mogador also up on Southeast, 29-7. In the final period. Some games in the 3rd. Massillon leading Benedictine. That is a 7-3 ball game. Chardon in the 3rd quarter has opened up a 28-0 lead on Paynesville Riverside. The Hilltoppers certainly on their way, it would seem, to a statement win in a matchup of 2 juggernauts in that conference. Streetsboro leads Cloverleaf in the 3rd quarter, but the Colts hanging around. That is 28-20. And then a couple more games. Stowe Monroe Falls leads North Royalton 12-0. That game just getting started in the 3rd quarter. Also, Brecksville Broadview Heights leading Barberton 17-6 at the start of the 2nd half.
Oh boy, Mitch Hewitt and the Hilltoppers are for real. 28-0 over a I'm telling you, we just saw Riverside last week. Very, very good Riverside team.
And Carey just picked up
Paynesville.
Yes, it is in Paynesville. And look, the team they beat last week, Perry, the Paynesville beat, they're no slouch. They just won last night, a very impressive bounce back win to get back to 3-1. So we know Paynesville's good, having beat the Perry Pirates by 30 points. So for Chardon to be up 28-0 in this ball game on the road, no less, really shows me that I think that this is the team to beat in Division III, at least as far as Northeast Ohio is concerned.
I would concur at this point, and hopefully by the time we do this next Friday, we'll have a better idea of how the seeding process will take place when we get into the playoffs. But the Explorers are going to be a team to watch. Mitch has them playing real well right now.
Absolutely. Just to note that HSA did release their region pools just today. I believe it was some sort of drawing or sort of whatever the process was. The regions are out for each of the 7 divisions. You can go and check that out on the OHSAA's website. One important thing to note, the computer rankings will not be utilized this year. With every team making the playoffs, the coaches will instead vote after week 5 to determine where the teams will be seated when the postseason begins. Remember, every team is eligible to be in the playoffs. Most have opted in. And it's similar to how basketball kind of works. That also kind of means week 6 won't mean as much because teams will already know where they're playing in that first round. It's going to be really strange to see, especially in divisions 2 through 7, to see where these teams go, because I would think there's going to be a decent amount of squads that get a bye into the second round. Correct.
All right, Tyler, we'll catch you at the end of the 3rd quarter, which probably will have all kinds of finals for everybody by then, and look forward to talking to you then, brother.
Appreciate it, Dino. I will talk to you after the 3rd quarter. Thanks.
All right, Tyler Carey joining us as we shift the phone up here back to Dino view, so to speak, and Hudson will kick it off. Junko will do the honors here for the Explorers, and oh, surprise, surprise. Yeah, another touchback. That's all he's done tonight. And it will be First and 10 at the 20 for the Grizzlies. Mitch Evans and company back to work, getting the touchdown before the half to pull to within 14 points. Evans tonight with a 74-yard touchdown run, a 7-yard touchdown run, and a 62-yard touchdown pass to Barrett Labus, who also has a TD run. 42-28 Hudson as we start the second half. Wadsworth at their own 20-yard line with 3 receivers to the right, Gray over wing right, 1 receiver left. They'll go to Labus at the 20 to the 22-yard line for a short pickup and wrestled out of bounds there. It'll be a second down and about 8. Jonathan Heiza, the linebacker, over there on the tackle. This time, Ethan Korecki will go wide left. Again, trips right. That triangle look. Quarterback Mitch Evans drifts back to the shotgun. Isa shows a blitz on 2nd and 8. Again, a little bubble screen. Again, it's Labus. And actually, it may be Sereno that time. It is. And he is run out of bounds short of the first down marker. They'll mark him at about the 27, I believe. And it'll be a 3rd and 3. Sereno, the kind of the junior member, pardon the pun, he's a junior, but everybody else on this wide receiver core is a senior for Justin Todd. Montgomery's a senior, Link's a senior, Korecki a senior, and Labus a senior. Evans will send Gray in motion left or right on 3rd down. Here comes Labus trying to get to the outside. Can he get to the 30 on a second effort? Very close. Ryan Sudam knocked him out of bounds. This will largely depend on the spot. I don't know if he got to he did not get to the 30-yard line. 4th down and less than a yard. And down 14 early in this third. Deep in their own territory. Justin Todd with his offense, they're going to go for it. Play clock, but they're going to need to get it in here quickly. Play clock is down at 10. And Evans still not at the shotgun here. Play clock at 5, 4, 3. They're not going to get it off in time. Timeout taken. So they'll burn the timeout to make sure they get it right here on 4th and less than a yard. Because you don't get it, obviously, Hudson takes over at your 29. But this is one of those calls here, you know, and I'm certain Justin Todd knows a lot more about offensive football than I ever will, but you almost feel like you've got a quarterback who's 6'7", and they don't operate under center. I get it. They operate generally out of a deep shotgun, sometimes out of the shorter shotgun, out of the more of a pistol type look. Let your 6'7" quarterback get you that first down. That would make the most sense. But you know, you're in a situation where your defense hasn't stopped Hudson all night long. You don't want to kick it. You don't want to punt it here because you just don't want to give the Explorers the ball back. You want to keep that margin if you can, no more than 14, but certainly at 7 or less. And the first things first, what are you even talking about? You got to get this first down. 4th and less than a yard at the left hash for Wadsworth at their own 29. Down by 2 touchdowns. Quarterback Mitch Evans will tuck, he'll run, first down. Out to the 34-yard line. Every now and then I call one right. Every now and then, not very often. 9:39 to go here in this third quarter. That was the, I think, the logical call and the right call. And let your quarterback on his way to South Bend handle the dirty work there. So fresh set of downs at the 34-yard line for the Grizzlies. Again, it's Korecki out wide left. I believe that's Labus in the backfield with Evans. Two receivers right now. Labus in motion goes out right. Evans looks right now, throws back left. Here comes Gray at the 40, 45, and brought down for a first down just shy of midfield. Similar to the play they ran on that 3rd and 13 before halftime that resulted in the 53-yard hookup. That one not nearly as long, but it is a first down pickup. Brennan Gray coming into tonight, the first two games only had one catch. He's had two big ones here tonight. Yeah, he's, as a running back, came into tonight with 12 carries for 131 yards and a couple of touchdowns. So, I mean, he certainly is a dangerous runner, but they're using him as a receiver very effectively tonight. Here comes Labus. Left side, he'll go into Hudson territory and take it to the Explorer 48-yard line. Ian Krause makes the stop for the Explorers. So about a pickup of 3 for Labus, 2nd and 7 for the Grizzlies, who are running some time on this drive here nicely. About 4 minutes elapsed so far, 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. On 2nd down, Evans will keep it this time on the read option and takes it forward to about the 46. Not a whole lot of running room there. Ben Coates initially got some pressure in there and was able to slow Evans enough down to allow his teammates to finish it off, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 5. Yeah, you like the strategy, though, here. Wadsworth really being deliberate with the clock. 15 seconds on the play clock. Now, they've already had to burn a timeout. You don't want to get too deliberate here, but you want to make sure that you're controlling the clock as much as possible. 3rd and 5 from the Hudson 46. Here's Evans. Middle screen. Labus with the catch. Dives forward to the 41-yard line. Very, very close to a first down. And he'll have it. Well-conceived play again by the Grizzlies. Nothing really fancy here. They're just trying to control the clock, control the chains, and keep things moving here in this third quarter, down 14. They've already gone for it once on 4th down. Now it'll be a 1st and 10 for Wadsworth at the Hudson 41. And they have almost used half of this third quarter clock on this drive as we're approaching 6 minutes to play. Evans, the throw deep over the middle, and the pass is incomplete, broken up inside the 15-yard line for Montgomery. Oh, that's a terrific play by the defense of the Explorers. Adam Oscarson helping to break it up at the last moment and prevent the reception by Montgomery. 2nd and 10. Looked like when they were running, kind of Evans got the shotgun snap, faked it to Labus, and almost looked like there was a problem with the exchange there as they were doing the fake. But no problem there. 5 wide, 2nd and 10. Evans steps up, fires 3 for Labus. He's got it. Touchdown! Wadsworth Grizzlies from 41 yards out. Barrett Labus gets his 3rd touchdown of the night. And Wadsworth now within 8, 42-34, with 6:24 to go in the third quarter. That was a marvelous drive by the Grizzlies. Ate up more than 5 minutes of this third quarter clock. And Mitch Evans with his 2nd touchdown pass of the game. Here's the extra point attempt for Aiden Mendel. Ball down. Kick is up. Kick is good. Barrett Labus has caught a 62-yard touchdown pass. He has caught a 41-yard touchdown pass. He has run for a score tonight. Stars are out here in Wadsworth. And Hudson's lead at one point was 42-21. It's now 42-35 with 6:24 to go in the third quarter. That is why it was so important for the Grizzlies to get that touchdown before halftime and keep Hudson from scoring and keep them within striking distance. Now, can the Grizzlies get a stop on defense? It's been few and far between here tonight. But their offense has given them a shot here in this football game. As Mendel will tee it up. And Drew Leitner back deep to receive at the 10-yard line. Aiden Lau is back there as well. But it's been pretty much the Drew Leitner show when it comes to returning kicks here tonight. As Mendel approaches the football. And again, at about the 11, this time here's Drew Leitner. Forward to the 20, outside 25. He's to the 30 and run out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. Mendel amongst those making the stop. So 1st and 10 for the Explorers. They'll actually spot it at the Hudson 35-yard line. It's about a 24-yard run back by Drew Leitner. And it will be 1st and 10 for Jacob Paltani and the Explorer offense. Leitner will stand to the right of Paltani. Leitner has a couple of touchdown runs tonight. Lau has a couple of touchdown runs tonight. Here's Paltani, back to throw, quick drop, fires. McLaughlin at the 41 will get knocked out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. Gain of 8 on 1st down for the Explorers. As we now go to 6 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter, Leitner will get the carry. Spins ahead after he was initially brought down to the backfield, and he'll have the 1st down to the 46. They don't give us heights and weight. There's an injured Grizzly down on the field. They don't give us heights and weights on the Hudson roster. Drew Leitner, below the waist, I mean, his legs are powerful. And the injured player, Cohen Grimm, the sophomore defensive end, is going to jog off the field under his own power, so that's certainly a good sign. But Leitner just, you think you've got him, and you think you're going to bring him down, and he just finds ways with his legs to keep plays alive. So it'll be 1st and 10 now for Hudson. The ball will be spotted at their own 46. Hudson 42, Wadsworth 35. Dave DiNatale with you here at Artwright Stadium in Wadsworth. Back to throw. Jacob Paltani throws deep, looking for Lau. Got it at the 20-yard line and down there for a 1st down. Paltani with another great throw, and Aiden Lau ran under it. That is a pickup of 34. Quickly, here's Leitner. 15. He's down to about the 11-yard line. 2nd and 2 coming up. Explorers continue to march. Boy, you sit there and you go, boy, okay, maybe I'll just key on Leitner. Jacob Paltani finds ways to beat you with his receivers. Then vice versa. You try to key on the receivers. Leitner and Lau come right at you. This time it'll be Leitner will get the carry inside the 10. He'll knock down at about the 8-yard line. On 2nd and 2, he gets, they may actually mark this at the 6. So that's going to be a 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal. Quick snap to give. Lau up the gut and in for the touchdown. Aiden Lau. His 3rd touchdown of the evening. 48-35. Took just about 2 minutes for the Explorers to march right back down the field. That was an impressive show by the Explorers, coming right back down the field. And I think Aiden Lau is, after he got the touchdown, was shaken up. And it looked like, I don't know if he got tripped up or something in the back of the end zone, but or maybe it was on a celebration, because he pretty much had walked into the end zone. Aiden's had a terrific ball game. He and Leitner both have been, as we mentioned earlier, it's the benefit of having two great running backs, as we noted last night watching the Cleveland Browns up at First Energy Stadium. Lau gets up and looks to be okay. He's jogging off the field, so hopefully maybe it's just a cramp or something, and he says he's okay. Does a very light jump up with Luke McLaughlin. And the Explorers now for the extra point, Jake Vidmar. Ball is down, kick is up, and Vidmar is true again. 7 out of 7 tonight. 49-35. Explorers back up by 14 again with 4:38 to go here in this third quarter. But that's illustrates the problem, though, for Wadsworth is, it's all well and good to go back and forth, but when you're down 14, at some point you got to get a stop. I mean, we can do this all night and exchange touchdowns, but at some point Wadsworth needs a stop. But at this point, it's a shootout here at Art Wright Stadium. And as the sun's gone down, night has come in. It has also gotten chilly. And I thought I saw, we may see temperatures down below 50 tonight, I think. Open the windows, turn off the AC, but it definitely feels like it's football weather. It feels good. As the kick will sail into the end zone for a touchback. Not a high booming kick that time by Junko, but deep enough for the touchback, and a familiar start tonight for Wadsworth. They'll take over at their own 20. 4:38 to play here in quarter number 3. Hudson Explorers looking to go to 4-0. They lead the 1-1 Wadsworth Grizzlies 49-35. Mitch Evans quickly now with 5 wide receivers, empty backfield. Trips left, 2 receivers right. Play clock at 10. As Evans goes to work, looks left, fires left. It is Sereno at the 25, first down 30, makes a nice move outside 35 and put out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. As Adam Oscarson, we called his number quite a bit tonight, and Ben Coates make the tackle. And that is a gain of 21 and a first down for the Grizzlies. The stats tonight for Mitch Evans, the stats tonight period, are going to be ridiculous in terms of offensive football tonight. As Evans looks over, he'll again, 3 receivers to the right, including Barrett Labus, 2 receivers left. 4 minutes to go here in the third. Labus will go in motion now in the backfield, and he'll get the handoff, running left, and short yardage to about the 43, and that's really about it. Ryan Sudam and Ben Coates combine on the tackle. You'll give Labus 2 on that pickup, second down and 8. But again, like in the previous drive for Wadsworth, they are as interested as possible here to run time off the clock. They're not in any hurry here to lessen the opportunities for Hudson. Evans ready now. Play clock is at 5 on 2nd and 8. Blitz coming. Here comes Evans, throws, pass caught, Labus got it, first down and knocked out of bounds at the 40-yard line of the Explorers. Jacob Clary was coming in from the backside, and Evans just able to get it off to Labus before Clary hit him. Another Grizzly first down. They will mark it forward now to the Explorer 39. We go under 3 minutes now to play here in this third quarter. As Gray, Link, and Korecki will be flanked out wide left. Sereno and Montgomery out to the right. Here comes Evans. Looks left, looks right, over the middle. Pass caught, 25. And Montgomery will take it to the 20-yard line. That is a gain of 19 and another Grizzly first down. Well, these two quarterbacks are dropping dimes tonight, big time. Labus will check out. I mean, Evans has just been razor sharp throwing the football tonight, and so has, for that matter, Paltani. Back to throw Evans, rolling right, looking, throwing right, end zone, man, open. It is caught. Sereno, touchdown. Mitch Evans with his third touchdown pass of the game. He hits Anthony Sereno. That one from 20 yards out. Back and forth we go. 49-41. Hudson by 8. Wow. Incredible performance tonight by these offenses. Now you can sit there and you can be snarky and say, yeah, well, Dino, where's the defense? I get it, but these are prolific offenses, both sides. Extra point is up. Line drive for Mendel is good. It didn't have a lot of altitude on it, but it didn't need it. 49-42, back and forth we go. 2:12 to play in quarter number 3. And again, we can do this all night. At some point, though, the Grizzlies, I almost wonder, just thinking out loud here, if we're still in this scenario where you're down 14, down 7, down 14, down 7, if Justin Todd doesn't try an onside kick or something like that, and just say, the heck with it. I'm going to see if I can get the ball back another way than relying on the Explorers to not score touchdowns against my defense. That I don't know if we'll see that now, but if we're still in this scenario and we're looking at like a 63-56 or something like that, I wonder at that point, and still lots of time, I wonder if we might see something like that. Mendel will tee it up. And again, Leitner back deep to receive. And also back there is Aiden Lau. Yeah, pick your poison. I'm going to kick the Leitner or Lau. Leitner or Lau. Let's see what Mendel does here. He approaches the football. Yeah, there it is. Onside attempt. And it was initially picked up by Hudson, but then it was dropped. And Wadsworth says they have it. Hang on. That ball only went, it was picked up at the 45, but there was a Hudson player who touched it, and the Explorers say they have it. And I think the officials concur they do. You just had a feeling something like that was coming, and they almost got away. They almost were able to execute it. Whoever the player was for Hudson didn't let it bounce the requisite, usually 10 yards, and pounced on it, but then had lost the handle on it, and for a moment, it looked like Wadsworth had the football, but that's not the case. The problem, of course, with going for an onside is you're going to give your opposition a shorter field. But I think that was a good gamble by Justin Todd. I really do. Ball at the 45 of the Grizzlies with 2:07 to go in the third quarter. Hudson by 7. Back to throw Paltani over the middle. Pass caught by McLaughlin. Upended, but he hangs on at the 36-yard line on a tremendous catch by Luke McLaughlin and gets a well-deserved applause from the faithful here on the Hudson side. That's a heck of a catch by Luke McLaughlin. There's a problem as Hudson's trying to set up the offense here, and Jeff Goff was trying to get his guys all aligned. The give is the Leitner with some running room to the 25-yard line and put down there, but that's another first down pickup for the Explorers. Paltani has them ready to go. 2 receivers each side. Drew Leitner stands to his left. Ball now at the Grizzly 25-yard line. Late in this third quarter, we approach 1 minute to play. Hudson 49, Wadsworth, 42. Jacob Paltani looks to throw, fires right side at the 22, pass caught and run out of bounds immediately is Colin Pierce. And over on the far side, he was well covered. Skylar Kreis was over there. And it'll be a 2nd down and 4. Quickly now. Hudson on the ball as they'll have Leitner stand to the left of Paltani. He rolls left, gonna keep it. He'll run to the 15. Paltani outside to the 10, cuts back inside the 5, and goes in for the touchdown on a brilliant run by Jacob Paltani. Wow. Back and forth, back and forth. 19 yards on that TD run by Jacob Paltani. That was a brilliant run. I mean, everybody thinks, okay, the quarterback, he gets the first down, he gets to the 10-yard line, he's going to run out of bounds there. Paltani cut back in once and then cut in again at the 5-yard line. That was a tremendous scamper by Paltani. Extra point. It looks like a busted play. They're going to try to throw it back in the end zone. Incomplete. Bad snap and hold there. And Paltani, who's the holder, was trying to throw it to somebody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete, so that's not successful. Remember that. It'll keep the score 55-42 with 53 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Interesting. Well, that's the only way Jacob Vidmar was not going to be able to get an extra point, it seems. I mean, he's been so brilliant kicking this year, but problem with the exchange there, snap and hold, and Explorers lead is at 13 points. But still 2 scores here with just over a quarter to go in this game. And let's looking at the official clock time. We're at 9:22 here p.m. and we still have a quarter to play. Last week, when we had a running clock there at the end, but last week when we were up in up in Perry, we were done. But Tyler, Carey, and I were signing off at this time last week. We got a long way to go in this one in Wadsworth. 13-point lead. Here's the kickoff. Junko will punch this one in the end zone for another touchback. And as Evans and crew, with 53 seconds to play in the third quarter, will start at their own 20-yard line. And again, that's why Justin Todd went for the onside kick there. And I'll tell you, if Wadsworth scores a touchdown, he might try it again. First things first, though, Grizzlies got to respond here, and as they're down by 13, movement along the lines, no call either way. Play clock is at 13. Evans will go trips to the right, 2 receivers left, 1st and 10 from the 20. Mitch looks to throw, lots one deep for Gray, and he overshot him at the 50-yard line. Was covered by Drew Leitner, because he's another one that can do it all. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 10. Clock stops, 46 seconds to go here in the third. Again, at the end of the quarter, Tyler Carey will join us, and we'll take a look at probably what are some finals around the area now in high school football. As the Grizzlies will approach the line here, 2nd and 10 from the 20. Hudson 55, Wadsworth 42. Gray will shift left to right, back to throw Evans, looks left, throws left, and overshot Ethan Korecki, trying to run a slant route at the 30-yard line. Well, few too many RPMs on that throw there for Mitch, and it's a big 3rd and 10 coming up here for the Grizzlies. I mean, they were down in this area. They went for it on 4th and 1 from the 29, but if it's 4th and 10 from the 20, I don't know if Justin Todd will go for it then. Grizzlies will send two receivers left, Korecki and Sereno. And they've got two receivers off to the right. Big 3rd and 10 here late in the third quarter for Wadsworth. Evans looks left for Sereno, knocked away by John Inamorado at the 40-yard line, incomplete. Oh, he had Sereno open, and Inamorado came in and knocked it away at the last second. 4th and 10, Grizzlies at their own 20 with 34 seconds to go, and Coach Todd will send in the punting team. Brilliant play by the senior Inamorado. But Sereno was open, and that would have been a first down. It would have been about a 20-yard pickup. Evans stands back at his 5 to await the snap. He'll punt to his fellow quarterback, Jacob Paltani, who's in single safety at his own 40. This one will bounce on the field turf. Paltani will let it go out of bounds at the Explorer 41-yard line. 24 seconds to play in the third quarter. Now, and that was exactly what could not happen for Wadsworth, a defensive or offensive stop, and now puts all the pressure back on their defense because Hudson scored at will virtually here tonight. McLaughlin will go wide left. Pierce over there on the slot. You've got one receiver right. That's Tanazi over on the right side. 1st and 10. They'll go to Tanazi at the 45, cuts to the 50, gets the first down, knocked out of bounds by Jazz Jackson at about the 48-yard line of the Grizzlies with 16 seconds to play in the third quarter. And quickly, the Explorers in Wadsworth territory. They'll go Leitner to the 40, to the 35, to the 30, to the 25, and Drew Leitner finally brought down at the 23-yard line. And that will be, as soon as the chains are moved, the final play of the third quarter. There it is. End of 3 at Artwright Stadium. Hudson with a 13-point lead, 55-42. Tyler Carey with us. TC, what's happening elsewhere?
Well, Dino, as you mentioned, we do have a few finals to talk about. The one we were really paying attention to up in Lake County, Chardon beats Paynesville Riverside by a final score of 35-7. The Hilltoppers move to 4-0. The Beavers suffer their first loss of the year. Brunswick recovers in grand fashion from that tough loss against St. Edward a week ago. They beat Brunswick 38-0 tonight in Medina County. Avon Lake hands Amherst Steel its first loss. The Shoremen win 21-7. And over in Portage County, Mogador has beaten Southeast 29-7. The Wildcats also remain undefeated.
All right, TC, thank you so much. We'll catch you in the post game as we begin the fourth quarter here in Wadsworth. Grizzlies trailing Hudson 55-42. And after the Leitner run, it's 1st and 10 for the Explorers at the Wadsworth 23 as we begin this fourth quarter. It's Jacob Paltani ready to go. Trips left. One receiver right. Paltani rolls left. He'll roll and run inside the 20. And he'll get run out of bounds at about the 18, maybe the 17-yard line. It's a gain of about 7 on first down. Just kind of a little student body left there. And Paltani has been so brilliant tonight executing this offense. Why not? They'll go on the ground. Leitner, big roll at the 10. Cuts inside at the 5. He will be knocked out of bounds at the 3. It'll be 1st and goal from there. Yeah, Jacob Paltani, Drew Leitner, Aiden Lau. I mean, that's as good of an offensive backfield as you're going to find anywhere, and it's going to be there's a flag down. Well, no, that's not a flag. I think it's just the yard marker. It will be a 1st and goal, and we've got a stoppage in play because we've got an injured player over I think over on the far sideline, which is why I can't see it here, but we have Wadsworth sprinting over. It's in the area where Leitner was knocked out of bounds. So it gives a little stoppage in play, gives everybody a chance to catch their breath here. This has been just an amazing display of offensive firepower tonight for both sides. The injured Grizzly is up and walking off under his own power, so that's certainly a good sign. But you know, the offense here tonight, the offense of both sides have been just extraordinary. Between Paul Tanny, Leitner, Lau, McLaughlin, Tanazi. I mean, all across the. I mean, they've been just explosive, big time for the Explorers. Evans, Labus, and crew, likewise for the Grizzlies. So we have first and goal. I apologize, I didn't see who the injured player was. I was kind of shielded from it, but it'll be first and goal. And the give is going to be to Lau, and he's got an opening into the end zone. Touchdown, Aiden Lau. And the Explorers open up now a 61-42 lead with 11:11 to go in the fourth quarter. That is Aiden Lau's fourth touchdown run of the game. 31 yards out, 25, 6-yard, 3-yard. Here's almost surprised they didn't go for two here, but they'll, with a 19-point lead, they'll try the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. 62-42 with the ball game. And that was the one thing that, as we said with Wadsworth, you couldn't afford to punt the football back. I mean, you've got to, if it's going to be a score fest, you can't not score. And having to punt the football away ended up putting them really behind now by 20, because now obviously you're going to be needing touchdowns, and you're going to have to execute onside kicks here at this point. Because you have to figure out whatever way you can to not put the football back into the Hudson offense. But first things first, you got to score. Still lots of time in this football game. 11:11 to go in the fourth. As the Junko will have a returned kick tonight. I don't believe it. Here comes Gray at the 20-yard line, outside to the 21, who got a hard hit right at the 21-yard line and put out of bounds there. It was Ryan Sudam who had the nice hit there on special teams, and it'll be first and 10 at the 21-yard line. So it's one. even when Junko doesn't get touchback, still good coverage downfield by Hudson. I mean, you look at it, we've had 15 touchdowns in this game. 9 from the Explorers, and we've had, 6 from the Grizzlies. Labus will get the little bubble screen on first down, short yardage, if any, as just not a lot of room for him to maneuver down on the right sideline, and Leitner were amongst those who run him out of bounds. I think they marked him right at the line of scrimmage, so it'll be second and 10. I think the feeling there is, maybe try to soften things up and go deep. Second and 10 as Carter Link will check in and go to the slot left side with Labus. And McLaughlin, who we are on our far side right. 4 wide receivers, second and 10 at the 20-yard line. Here is on the read option a fake, and Evans will keep it. He'll cross the 25, dive forward to the 29. But they're actually going to mark him, I think, at the 28, so it'll be a third down and 3. And now, because you're down by so many points here, you know, it completely changes the sense of urgency now. You know, when you're down 7 or whatever, even when they were down 14, you know, they were trying to stretch out the game. Now they've got to move quickly here. Down 20. It is a 3rd and 3 from the 28. Evans over the middle, incomplete. Was looking for Tyler Montgomery, and he was well covered by Jackson Thomas. 4th and 3, and now, of course, the Grizzlies have to go for it. Chris Slater will check in on the defensive line. Well, I say, of course, they have to go for it, but they're going to send the punt team in. I mean, I'm just surprised because they went for it on 4th and 1 earlier in this half at their own 29. It's 4th and 3. You're down 20. Now, keep in mind, Mitch Evans, the quarterback, is your punter. Well, no, he kicked it away, and it'll be a fair catch for Paul Tanny. Oh, he kind of juggled it a little bit, but he'll make the catch at the 31-yard line, and that is where the Explorers will start. Yeah, I was just kind of surprised that they ended up punting it away there. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 30 with the Explorers leading by 20, 62-42, 9:54 to go in the 4th quarter. I would imagine here we will see a dose of Drew Leitner here coming up. Play clock is down to 8, and they haven't run a play here yet. Now they're ready. And here comes Leitner. And he'll cross the 30 out to about the 34-yard line. And it will be 2nd down and 6. 9:35 to go in the 4th quarter. 62-42, Hudson leading Wadsworth. Explorers trying to go to 4-0 on the year. Yeah, the Explorers are slowing things down here. Leading by 20. As they'll do a little bubble screen pass caught at the 35 to the 37. Big hit. And coming away with that catch was Shane Kilfoyle. And he'll take it to the 37-yard line. Short pickup, and it'll be 3rd and 3. You know, a painful couple of yards there for Kilfoyle. As we go under 9 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter, and big 3rd down here for the Wadsworth defense, trying to get off the field. As they'll position Colin Pierce over on the left side, or right actually, over as the Pierce and Tanazi. And McLaughlin wide left. 3rd and 3, Leitner will get the 1st down. He'll cross the 40 and go out of bounds at the 41-yard line. I don't think he wanted to go out of bounds. Jazz Jackson got him over to the sidelines, and it's another 1st down for the Explorers. He's following his blocks. Aiden Lau helped to lead the charge there, and it's a 1st down as Vincent Matulka will check in, and Colin Pierce will check out. 8:15 to go here in the 4th. Entertaining game tonight here. I mean, we said earlier, if you like offense, you're going to be in for a treat here. And you certainly have been the beneficiaries of some fun football. As Lau gets the carry, was able to spring ahead, goes over the 45 and out to the 48-yard line. One more, I tell you what, Aiden Lau, if he could have gotten past one more Grizzly, he might have scored. He gets 5 on that pickup, 2nd and 5, under 8 minutes now to play. Again, the Explorers in no hurry. Play clock is already at 20. 7:44. They're really kind of reducing. What you're doing here is, obviously you're trying to run out the clock, but you're just reducing the amount of opportunities that the Grizzlies will have to try to score, even if you don't get a touchdown here. Back to Leitner. He'll get into Wadsworth territory, gets the first down, and he is run out of bounds at about the 44-yard line of the Grizzlies, and they're actually going to give him a little bit further than that, closer to the 42. I'm almost surprised that they're running him towards the sidelines, but he seems to, he likes that run left. And of course, you got Konecki over there helping to lead the charge. Not a bad idea. And also Aiden Lau has been lead blocking. They've gone with both Lau and Leitner in the backfield. Under 7 minutes to go. And it's a 1st and 10 now for the Explorers. At the 41, Leitner again runs left, cuts back in to the 35, and knocked down at the 33 by Brandon Wright. Gets close to 9 on 1st down. That's another thing. Give credit to Toth, Bay, Mopshin, Slater, and Konecki. The offensive line tonight for Hudson's been superb. Also, Tommy Ricard. These things don't just happen in vacuums. I mean, you need offensive lines to open holes and the receivers downfield to do their job as well. And that's been a complete effort by the Hudson team when it comes to run blocking. Under 6 minutes to go. And this time it will be Ryan Evans getting the carry. And Evans will be brought down for a 1st down as they'll mark him at the 30. It was a 2nd down and short. And we've got another Grizzly shaken up. I fear that might be Jazz Jackson down. They're stretching out his right leg in what would make you think that it's probably a cramp. So it has been an exhausting night to be a defensive football player to try to keep up with these two offenses. Especially in Jackson's case, because, I mean, he missed the first 2 games. So this has been just kind of a welcome back to the grind here. 5:48 to go, 4th quarter. 62-42, Hudson on top of Wadsworth. Wednesday, we'll let you know where we are going to be for week number 5. So Tyler mentioned this a little bit earlier. We're kind of winding our way down now to the end, and Jackson's able to limp off the field, and now he's trying to jog. Such an important part of this defense. And Justin Todd kind of slapped the top of his helmet just to, tell him how much he appreciates having him back out there, because he certainly does. But as we start to look ahead, we'll let you know where we're going to be. We've got a few ideas, few games that we're looking closely at, and then be 2 weeks away. I mean, think about it like this: 3 weeks from tonight, we'll be calling a playoff game somewhere. I mean, this crazy, crazy season. But Tyler really kind of set up for you, I think, how it's going to look. It's almost going to be like, a basketball bracket, how they're going to set up the postseason. So you might, teams are going to get some buys as Evans will get the carry and sweeps right side to the 25. Flag goes down. Another flag goes down as Ryan Evans will go down at about the 23-yard line with 5:03 to go, and probably have at least one holding on the play. But that's been a key for Hudson, by the way. It is a holding against the Explorers. In the second half, Hudson did a much better job cleaning up the penalties and the mistakes. When we had the insane second quarter with the stoppages and the delays and everything, Hudson really hurt themselves with a roughing the kicker and a roughing the passer penalty. But Explorers have been much cleaner here in the second half in terms of the penalties. And that's going to make, I think, Jeff Goff feel a lot better. Still some things, obviously, in the defensive side that they're going to need to shore up, but offensively, rolling like a juggernaut tonight. As this time they will go Lau, and he'll cross the 35 down to about the 33-yard line. I don't think anything's wrong with Drew Leitner. I think with a 20-point lead, his night might be over. Well deserved, if that's the case. As we approach 4 minutes to play here in Wadsworth. And again, yeah, and that's exactly what's happening here. Jeff Goff is starting to empty the bench a little bit. Tanazi's night is over, and Michael Johnston will check in at wide receiver. Yeah, this is where it gets fun for coaches now. It's, get an opportunity to empty the bench a little bit. As they'll go to Lau again. He'll cross the 30, gets upended there at about the 29-yard line. Likewise for Wadsworth, we start to see some subs in there as well. But salute to Wadsworth. This is, I said it earlier, it's almost become now a must stop for us during the course of a regular season for the game of the week. This is one of the best settings, I think, anywhere for high school football at Arkwright Stadium here in the Wadsworth Community Park area. It's a beautiful facility. Brad, can't say enough about Brad Musgrave and his athletic department staff here. They take great care of us. Lau gets the carry, and he'll get the first down. Well, actually, take that back. It was 3rd and 9. No, he's short of the first down. I apologize there on the far side. And on 4th down, we may see a field goal attempt here. Let's see. Now, like I said, we're going to see a new quarterback. So Jacob Paltani's night is over, and he was brilliant tonight. Tremendous. New quarterback, Jagger Pelé, is in there. He's a freshman. And they'll go on 4th down and 3, and they'll pick up the first down. Is running to his left. Another new player. Ronan Spahn. Spahn's he's a sophomore, but he's a big young man for a sophomore. We'll think he'll we'll hear the name Spahn, I think, in years to come. He looks like he's a running back that big guy. As Jeff Goff continues to empty the bench, it's a fresh set of downs at the 20-yard line here, and you almost think we have a couple of runs here, and that's going to do it. Hudson's going to make the trek back up northeast here, feeling good about themselves, as Evans will get the carry and brought down right at the line of scrimmage at the 20-yard line. As we approach 1:20 to go here in the football game. Well, this was fun tonight. A lot of great offensive football. Jack Florig, now your new quarterback. Everybody's going to get some playing time tonight. Why not? So we're down to 1 minute to go. Play clock is at about 20 here, so I think the Explorers can basically run one more play, and they're going to go to the victory formation. Very, very classy here for Jeff Goff. As it'll be Florig will take the knee. We're down to 42. They haven't set the play clock yet, and that is going to do it. Hudson Explorers travel down south to Wadsworth and stay unbeaten as they beat the Grizzlies in a shootout tonight. Your final, the Explorers 62, the Grizzlies 42. As we said, this was fun tonight. This was You know, we get games that are defensive stalemates at times. We get all kinds of things, but tonight we had offense, and we had a lot of it. I can't wait to read. I'm going to read both the Beacon Journal and the Medina Gazette later because I want to read both stories and get all the total numbers in the offense of this one because they're going to be ridiculous numbers from both teams. But this was fun tonight. But you sit there and you say, okay, what do you take away from a game like this? First things first, Hudson's offense is legit. They are a powerhouse with Paul Tanny, with Leitner, Lau, McLaughlin, Tanazi. I mean, there are so many weapons and so many different ways they can beat you. This isn't a fluke what they're doing. I mean, they came into tonight averaging 45 points a game. They're going to help that average quite a bit by virtue of scoring 62 tonight. They came in averaging 477 yards of total offense. They're going to help that out. I can tell you that I think they may have had 477 yards of total offense in the first half, to be honest. Just a tremendous offensive team. Yeah, there's going to be some things defensively that they're going to want to work on. Yeah, I would imagine so. You know, there's going to be some things they're going to need to shore up. You unfortunately, you're not going to be able to do this against, I think about Division II. You're not going to be able to do this against Massillon or Hoban or those types of teams. As Tyler Carey rejoins us here. Let me, TC, I'll pick you up here in just a second, my friend. There we go. All right, TC. I was just saying, I mean, this is about as good of an offensive exhibition as we've seen in our 3 years of doing the WKYC Game of the Week. Both teams, but specifically what we saw from Hudson tonight, pretty impressive.
No question, Dino. I mean, I think Hudson, you don't want to say they came in needing to make a statement because they've had two, 3 impressive wins already, but to go into Medina County and score 62 on a team like Wadsworth on the road is quite impressive. I thought Jacob Paltani had a fantastic game tonight. I even thought the defense, despite giving up 6 touchdowns, made some plays toward the end when they needed to really put the hammer down for the last time. This is the first time Hudson's been 4-0 since 2014, which was the year that they went to the state semifinals and lost to St. Edward. It's been a bit of a lull the last few years for Hudson. They did make the playoffs last year, but I don't think many people really
they've had a lot of 7 and 4s, TC. Yeah, it's been a while since we've thought of them as an elite
true contender
in Division II. And I kind of think we're getting back to that now.
Oh, absolutely. I think when you beat the opponents that they have, like Nordonia, like Wadsworth tonight, you've shown that
Barberton as well.
Yeah, you've shown that you have the ability to make some noise in the postseason when the games truly matter. Obviously, the score being what it was, 104 combined points. I often think of the line from Bo Schembechler. I think his Michigan team beat Ohio State 34-31 one year, and everyone said, oh, this is a classic game. And he's like, no, it wasn't. That was 2 teams playing bad defense. So I understand why some people are going to have that view after this game. And that is a question mark for Hudson and especially for Wadsworth. This is, I think, 2 weeks in a row they've given up 60. But still, hats off to the Explorers, a very impressive win and something that they can continue to build on as the playoffs approach in a few weeks.
Yeah, for Wadsworth, I think the imperative for the next couple of weeks is just get their guys healthy. I mean, especially on the defensive side, but get guys healthy, and there's no question they can score points. I mean, it is a good offense. It's a very good offense, but if they can get healthy and get themselves, the next 3 weeks into the right frame of mind, I think they'll feel good about themselves going into week 7 and beyond.
Yeah, I think they proved today that they can score, and I think Mitch Evans certainly looked the part despite the leg injury. If they can, they've always been a team that's been capable of putting up a lot of points. If they can do that, I still think that they are going to be a force to be reckoned with in the playoffs. But I still say those defensive issues need to be addressed, not to where they're going to be the 85 Bears, but where they just got to iron out some of the kinks to where they're not going to, again, hang up more than half 100 every week or give up more than
absolutely. All right, TC, let's take a look at what else happened earlier tonight in high school football for the games. Let's see, what are we here? We are about almost 3 hours in our game here tonight. Which actually, to be honest with you, I thought we might be here till 10:30 because with the way this game was going.
You and me both, just the way it was going back and forth, I think it helped Wadsworth kind of pull away in that final period. But let's start by staying in the Suburban League. Many of the rivals of these two teams, a big win for Nordonia tonight. They were on the ropes. They outlast Highland 44-30. Actually, hold on. Let me just make sure I don't have that score incorrect.
Refresh.
I apologize. Nordonia fell. Highland knocks off Nordonia in overtime, 44-38. A big win for the Hornets, who have always been a tough out in this conference. Stowe on the ropes a little bit. The Bulldogs beat North Royalton, winless North Royalton, by a score of just 21-14 tonight. Brecksville Broadview Heights got a win as well. They beat Barberton 45-31. We mentioned earlier Menor beating Brunswick 38-0 in Medina County. They recovered from that loss to St. Edward last week. Avon Lake over Amherst 21-7. Chardon, the big one we were looking at, beats Riverside 35-7 tonight. Again, a statement win for the Hilltoppers. Streetsboro was on the ropes against Cloverleaf. Well, they pulled away late. They won it 49-28. One final that just came in, Massillon has beaten Benedictine 28-10. That was a very close game in the second half, but the Tigers end up pulling away. And one more, Mogador beats Southeast in the Battle of Portage County unbeatens. That was a 29-7 final.
I tell you what, as you were going through the scores, you know what matchup I'd love to see? Brecksville against Hudson.
Yes. And those are two. I want to look at their schedule real quick. There is a chance they could be playing Dino, given that they are in the same conference. And my apology. This is the technology we work with, me on two screens here, trying to decipher through things. They do not play. Okay, we have figured this out. They will not play in the regular season.
Maybe a week 8. No, probably would be a little later than that. But you never know. That could be fun.
Yes, I would really be.
Good.
I would really be anxious to see what Joey Labus can do against this kind of porous Hudson defense. And if Hudson can put up the same amount of points they did tonight, I really think that could be an offensive shootout.
Oh, that could be the first of 70 wins that game. All right, Tyler, good stuff as always, my man. We will see you back Wednesday for the preview show, and then back at it next Friday.
Can't wait, Dino. Great job tonight as always, and a great showing by both teams. It was certainly entertaining for everyone to listen to tonight.
Indeed, this was a lot of fun tonight here at Art-Rite Stadium. We thank you all for joining us tonight. Again, your final from Art-Rite Stadium here in Wadsworth. The Explorers from Hudson go to 4-0. They beat the Wadsworth Grizzlies 62-42. For Tyler Carey and for the great, happy Brian Crane, I'm